my own shirts in the morning. The pain made it so difficult to hold a paintbrush or button my shirts. It was horrible. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
I don't know if you caught that or not. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete. Pete Davis is in, obviously, the Keebler Elf's house somewhere in the Netherlands. It's an incredible live shot today. And the mechanical mangler Flounder at the controls. And it's hump day. Okay. All right. So we're humping along. All right. Pete Davis. You got like the Keebler Elf hidden tunnel behind you or something. I don't know.
Well, it's a castle. I didn't know that Keebler Elves worked in a castle.
I can't see the castle part. It looks like a chalet of some kind in the mountains.
Well, they do in a castle in the tree.
Well, now see, there you are.
You know what? They left me this, too. Look at this.
It's sugar-free. Russell's. Oh, how could that be any good?
Sugar-free.
You can't have sugar. You can't have Russell Stover candy with no sugar in it. What the hell? Whoever came up with that idea?
It's
seriously.
Let me try it right now.
A mint. We'll try a mint. A mint might be different because it's just the mint flavor. But if you can't have chocolate candy with no sugar in it, give me a break.
Oh, this is delicious. It's like one of those. What do you call them things?
Like Junior Mints.
Well, Junior Mint, what's the big peppermint York?
Peppermint patties.
Peppermint patty,
yeah.
It tastes just like one.
God, I used to like those when I put them in the refrigerator and make them real cold. Those were
That's
great.
what this is. It's cold, and it's sugar-free, and it's just like a peppermint patty.
Well, I'll be damned.
Every Christmas, my mom would put peppermint patties in my stocking.
Oh,
and every year I'd be like, I like Reese's better. But she'd always put peppermint patties in.
I used to get a carton of Luckies. I swear to God, I demanded a carton of Luckies for every birthday and every Christmas.
Nolan Bell and me almost bought you a pack of Luckies in Chattanooga.
I'll take it. I'm going to pack them open. I'm going to crack it open one of these days.
They were in a candy store, and they had candy Lucky Strike.
You gave me some candy. Didn't you give me candy Lucky Strike? Yeah, I've still got them. I've got them. And in fact, I haven't thought about it seriously, but I really miss, I used to love my Lucky Strikes, man. I just, and of course I can't smoke now. I mean, if I could smoke, in other words, if I was able to smoke in here or, anywhere where you're not used to smoke, I'd probably smoke. I probably would. At my age, what the hell, seriously.
You've got to bring the candy ones in and have them dangling out of your lips.
I should do that during the breaks.
Notices as they walk by.
I'll do it. I'll try to remember. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make a note. All right, candy cigs.
Just walk in with one in your mouth.
Cigs. In fact, one of my favorite pictures of all time, and it sounds like I'm being a little braggadocious here, but one of my favorite pictures of all time is a picture of me in a party mood with a Lucky Strike hanging out of the side of my mouth. And I look like such a stud. Yeah. Sorry. I was like 16 or something. You're trying to be a tough guy.
Like you're a World War I soldier in the trenches.
Yeah, seriously. We all had a cigarette hanging out of our mouths. I mean, God, I smoked 4 packs of Luckies a day in the Marines. 4 packs a day.
You're lucky to be alive.
I am lucky to be alive. I mean, who ever heard of that? I mean, think about it. If you spend, like 7 minutes a cigarette, how long take it? Like 10 minutes, 8 minutes? I don't just smoke a cigarette. Depends on how fast you do it. But let's say it's 10 minutes per cigarette. And if you smoke 4 packs a day, that's 80 cigarettes. That's 800 minutes. That's 12 hours.
We used to be mad. You suckers would be outside at work smoking several times a day, and the rest of us still had to stay in there and work.
Yeah, that's right. We'd had to take smoke breaks.
Yeah, like you were special or something.
We are special. We were. And girls who smoke are good kissers. I've always said that, and I've always found that to be true.
Not good kissers, but other things.
Well, no, I would say girls who smoke are good kissers, at least in my experience in the many
more
past.
open to other ideas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to put a roll-up piece of paper with weeds and set it on fire, put it in your mouth, by God, woman.
Well, you remember you remember when we worked when we were at Cumulus, and right by the newsroom where we were was the elevator.
Yeah.
And that's where that's where Tim Andrews went. That's where Caddy went. And that's where Hangman would go. Anytime you had to go down to smoke a cigarette, you had to go that way.
Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable. Boy, times have changed, really. I mean, I don't remember the last time I've seen a person smoking a cigarette. I'm trying to remember.
You see them every now and then walking around.
I
In
don't
fact,
remember.
you know what? I saw Sunday, we stopped at Buc-ee's in Adairsville, and there's a section around the corner where the ne'er-do-wells sit there. It's like smoking area in high school.
Smoking section, yeah.
They sit out there and smoke. And literally, the stand there to put it in, the little sand thing that you can put it in, is right there. And this fat bastard sit there and smoked it, threw it on the ground and shoved it and snuffed
Stopped
it out
it instead of putting it in the sand. Yeah, figures.
Yeah.
He should be hit. Hit him in the face. That's my motto. Seriously. Hey, sir, did you see that? Did I say about the time with this chick in a car in front of me smoking? I came to a stoplight, and she was smoking, and she threw her cigarette butt out the window.
Yeah.
So I got out of my car, and I picked up that lit cigarette butt, and I threw it in her windshield. I said, "Here, you drop this."
I flick it right in their face.
Yeah, the window. She had closed her window when she saw me getting out, but so I put it on her. And of course, it could have gone into the engine and caused a horrible thing, but that's the way it goes anyway. So
I told you about the only retrofit they've had to do on my car is that the side air intake.
Yeah.
They had to bring it in and put a mesh on it because in Germany they still smoke so much. They were flicking their cigarettes out and it was being sucked up into the air intake and setting the engine on fire.
Man, I believe it. Foreigner, I mean, again, the last time I went to, it was silly thing in Hawaii, where a fancy hotel we stayed, and half of the hotel basically was Japanese.
Yeah.
And there were cigarettes. Every person smoked. You know. Anyway, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. I don't know how we got off on that. How you doing?
Phrasing.
Thank you. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. I'd love to get your comments. Did you hear I saw the hearing. I saw parts of it while I was working at home. And we'll talk a lot about that, the Fauci hearing. And again, the despicable, slimy attitude. We'll get to the whole thing. And we'll also talk more politics. Oh, and again, the story of that teenage kid, the black kid with white friends, who was partying, and then the boat went bad, and they all went back, and he said, "I'm going to stay talk to this girl," and then they found him later drowned in the water, and so the family hired Ben Crump. Ben Crump, one of those lawyers who's all over the George Floyd and all the rest of the racist cases, trying to make another George Floyd case out of this. And now that children's, what's that, Miss Rachel chick, the YouTuber star who has millions of children and families watching her, is also trying to make the commie, Jew-hating commie, and she's trying to convince little children that the racism is abounding in America because here we wants to go because the black kid was with white people, therefore there's something bad happening, and if it had been a lot of black kids with a white guy who drowned, they would have arrested all those black kids immediately. In other words, this is a woman who goes to children on YouTube, and she's sticking her freaking nose into something she has no idea about because of one thing, the common denominator is so-called civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Well, and he's getting a race issue out of it. Yeah.
She's a self-loathing New York liberal who, once again, it's what they've been doing. Read Malcolm X's biography. Go back and read what Jose Williams said about New York City. Basically, they refuse to deal with racism in their own city because they'll just point at other places around the country and say, "Oh, look at that racism down there. Look over there." It's deflection.
Yeah.
They never deal with their own race. They have Jewish people hiding in synagogues up there right now. Yeah. Where else is that happening in the United States?
In fact,
does she say anything about that?
In fact,
no.
I don't remember the last time New York City was embroiled in such divisive hate ever since they got their commie mayor. I mean, I'm trying to think of...
they hung black people during the Civil War from lampposts.
Yeah, that's a whole... I mean, I'm talking about modern society. But you don't read about
that either.
Yeah, I know. But even in modern times in society, New York's just... I mean, they're going to hell, and the racism is abounding, and I mean, it's just, they're digging it up again. And we got the WNBA, for God's sakes. I mean, this country's exploding because of these freaking liberals are just picking on stuff. And by the way, I'm going to I really get very upset about these freaking Democrats. Tell me, how is it possible? How is it possible that anybody who went through the COVID disaster thinks that what this country did during that and the leadership of Fauci, how could anyone think he did a great job and that he's a hero to the world of medicine and saving millions of people's lives? How could anybody think that what we went with, the masks and the 6-foot circles and the shutting down the schools and everything done by remote and businesses closing, and remember they put sand in the skate parks so you couldn't go skateboarding outside. They arrested a guy in the ocean in California. I mean, all those things. What happened with COVID? And everybody think, oh, Fauci, and every single Democrat was praising Fauci. I can't believe it. How could you really think that's a true statement when you're just saying he's, the son of God, basically? Really?
Right.
I mean, it's just, it's all Donald Trump. The only reason they're doing it is to protect the Democrats from the conservatives under the leadership of Donald Trump. It's Trump hate. They're just doing it because anything Trump is in favor of or trying to get done, they're against it.
They also love authoritarianism. They love dictators, and Fauci was a little dictator there, wasn't he?
And how they go out of their way to support him,
he's above the law.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to talk anymore to Congress. He doesn't have to answer to us. We're the little people.
And
he don't have to answer to us. He's above us.
He got a pardon, and he still refuses to help investigate. Yeah,
he's in the cool kids club.
Yeah. Kevin P. Flounder, how you doing? Well, you'll hear some sound bites, all kind of good stuff. And if you haven't seen the video of that teen in the surf saving the kid, holy moly, what a story coming up. Kevin P. and Flounder, look out.
Miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your Extra 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the Extra app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTRA 106.3.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the Honest Car Guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Democracy 2026.
The Democratic Socialists of America launching its new platform filled with far-left proposals. It's called Workers Deserve More. Abdul El-Sayed is a Democratic candidate for Senate in Michigan.
It means finally taxing billionaires their wealth so we have the money that we need to invest in the things that we need and deserve in this country.
Francesca Hong, a self-identified Democratic socialist running for governor of Wisconsin, says Republicans are likely to attack with political labels.
Whoever the Democratic nominee is, they're going to call Democratic candidates socialist, communist, whatever they need to distract us from the fact that our movement is building working class people power.
Democratic socialists have gotten a great deal of attention after the election of Zohran Mamdani to be New York City mayor. Grace Mauser, co-chair of the New York City Democratic Socialist Group, says it's time for mainstream Democrats to welcome them. Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
And now, Deep Thoughts with Neil Bortz.
Only 2 days in your life aren't 24 hours long. The day you were born and the day you die.
An extra 106.3 AI exclusive.
All right, here we go now. Look out. Kimmer, Peyton, Flounder, and Kiss. Well, yeah, except for that time there for the thing there. By the way, we have a lot of musical history notes here today. All right, here you go. Sorry, I interrupted you there. Here we go. Yeah, this was the day, 2007. Heart problems forced Kiss singer and guitarist Paul Stanley to abandon a show in California. Paramedics had to stop and restart his heart to give it a regular rhythm after his heart spontaneously jumped to 190 beats a minute and more. And that'll leave you in bad shape. They fixed him. Defib. That's one reason I have. In fact, I just had my ICD checked the other day. And in fact, I thought it was going to be a whole physical thing. I was kind of ticked off because I hate when they do that. There's no reason to do it. They don't need to. I have a monitor at home, and if something happens, the monitor will go off and say, call your thing, and it's saying. But they still do it because every time I have to go in there and do this, somebody gets money. Doesn't cost me anything, but obviously they make money off of my medical plan by checking my device. Well, I'm glad they do it because it makes sure it works. I have a year and a half left on the battery. Another 18 months from now, I'm going to have to have more surgery, which I'm not looking forward to. If I'm still around, and it captures every heartbeat of every second year-round. And he showed me I had 4 episodes over the last 6 months or 8 months or whatever it was. And it just means my heart did something that I never felt it. I didn't know it. But he could tell that I had 4 8-second episodes of something that this thing kept track of. So it's kind of weird.
You're lucky. I feel it every time it does it.
Oh, really? I've never. Yeah. And again, I asked him what happens if it goes off. If this. And by the way, I keep forgetting. When I read the original instructions, I've had this thing for, I think, 8 years or something, I guess, almost 10 years, I think. Anyway, and the instructions originally said, do not go anywhere near motorcycle engines or electric fences, which are stables.
Microwaves.
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised, actually, frankly, that I haven't woken up on the floor, which he says that's when it goes off. You'll know it because you'll wake up on the floor. So anyway, Kim, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Birthday, more musical stuff here. Mrs. Bruce Springs Cheatstein, Patty Scialfa, or Scialfa, I'm not sure how I pronounce it, 73, Patty. She's a redhead chick, right, that he was cheating on when he was married to that movie star ad girl, the actress. I think
Julian Phillips, I believe.
Julian Phillips. And he married her for like a week and then started cheating on her with that redhead. Yeah. And then married the redhead. It's unbelievable. Whatever. Who am I? Although I think he's a scumbag for the way he hates America and takes his message of hating America overseas. I mean, it's even worse as far as I'm concerned. It's really, anyway.
He's a POS.
He's a scumbag.
He's a talented POS, but he's a POS.
I like his song. I Dancing in the Dark, and there's a couple that I've read.
Concerts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. 2000, this day in the year 2000, the famed American boy band NSYNC was formed. In 1995, consisted of Justin Timberlake, J.C. Chazes, I don't know, Chris Kirkpatrick, Joey Fatone, and Lance Bass. The group got inspiration for the name from Timberlake's mother, who had commented on how in sync all of their voices were together. Though extremely popular from the get-go, it wasn't until this day in 2000 that one of their songs actually made it to the top of the list. It's Gonna Be Me, the second single released from the group's No Strings Attached album, sold almost 10 million copies. The band has sold 70 million total, nominated for 7 different Grammys, never won any. Their last album came out in 2001. And in 2007, NSYNC confirmed we're not a group anymore. So, whatever. Anyway,
hey,
yeah.
What's for dinner tonight?
For me, I'll tell you what's for dinner tonight. What is this a thing? I don't know. Is this?
I don't know. Something with gravy?
Well, I can tell you, I've got the 4 major food groups. I'm having meatballs, potatoes, gravy, and salt. Like every night now lately.
It is National Chicken Wings Day.
Oh, well, I know. Now, by chicken wings, if you mean the actual wing where it's all just, the skin and then a couple of bones.
Oh, don't tell me you're the only man in America who hates chicken wings.
I hate a little drumsticks. To me, a chicken wing is a little drumsticks. I'll eat 50 of those. I will not go anywhere near chicken wings, which is just that little Z-shaped wing thing, leg, the little Z-shaped leg with bones in it, and you got to nibble around the bones to get skin. What the hell is that?
Just go to Kroger or Publix or Ingles and just get the drumsticks in.
I love drumsticks. I'm saying, well, I'll do that, then I'll do that. In fact, I have chicken nuggets in my freezer. I'll use those tonight. I'll do chicken nuggets.
It's not chicken nugget day. It's chicken wings day.
Chicken wings day. God,
there are places
all right,
that have
go to the freaking
have deals
store
today on it.
Well, all right. I'll go get some wings.
Go to if there's a $3 cafe.
Buffalo wings?
They still Buffalo. Now, if I order wings,
there's a place in downtown Roswell, the Standard, that has great wings.
All right, now let me ask you this, because I've never actually ordered wings before. If I go to a place and order wings, are they going to give me little drumsticks, or are they going to give me those actual little angle? Oh,
now you can you can request. You can be one of those people who can be like, I just want drumsticks.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those people.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Once that they lick the drumsticks in the back.
I'm exactly one of those people. Hey, I'm paying for it. I want what I want.
Don't be that guy.
I'm going to be that guy. I'm always that guy. How come I'm always the guy? Seriously, how come I'm always that guy? Yeah, how come it's always me?
It's always you. What the hell's wrong with you?
A lot. There's a lot wrong with me. Where do you want me to start? One day I'm just going to tell everything. One day I'm going to start at 3:04 and just start talking. Yeah, you'll find out. Anyway. Now, okay, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Our number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We have Flounder's Funnies. We have a couple of things from, in fact, speaking of Buc-ee's, Pete Davis is going to entertain us with a Buc-ee story and some new betting stuff, which I've heard of, and I'm a little nervous about the whole thing. But anyway, a whole bunch of good stuff here for you today. We got some tweets. We had Flounder's Funnies. We got Hook Up at Sports. And a bunch of weird stories in the news, too. Let's start with this. So if you haven't seen this video, you really should look for it. Santa Cruz Beach, California. The surf. A teenage boy, 16-year-old Ryder Williams, is going to be recognized by Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, boy, he saw that the video be talking about here and said, this kid Ryder is going to get a high civilian honor for his bravery. We're going to bring this heroic young man and his family to the White House with perhaps the boy he saved to give him a high civilian honor. Very brave. He deserves it. Donald Trump wrote that on social media. What happened was this lifeguard, a kid, 16-year-old kid, Ryder Williams, over the weekend, a dramatic rescue and the surf, this is Santa Cruz Beach. I'm telling you, the surf, they kept disappearing under the water. A 10-year-old kid was in trouble. So the lifeguard, 16-year-old Ryder Williams, went out to get him. And half of the video is them disappearing under the water. Pounding, overtowering them, pounding surf on these. And other people jumped in to try to help. There were other kids.
You can't stand up in those things.
You can't. Well, in fact, I forgot whether Flounder's been in this, but I know Pete Davis and I have both been in situations where we couldn't get out of the water.
Right.
I mean, I was banged up like crazy and couldn't get out of the water until I finally did. But I mean, I was nervous about it. And this guy, you see this little kid. And by the way, he also participated in 5 rescues during that same shift. His father says, we're overwhelmed. I still see him as a little boy. His grandfather's a firefighter, retired, and says, I see him as a little kid. He dragged the 10-year-old swimmer into the churning surf all through it. He said, when he got home, he told us, he said, Dad, I wasn't going to let go of that kid because I knew if I let go of him, he was going to drown. Yeah, I just couldn't. I wasn't going to let that happen. And I mean, what a story. And again, if you see this video, it's freaking unbelievable. He had 2 rescues afterwards the same day. They were even worse, it says. He had a total of 5 during the shift. He's 16. I mean, he's in high school. He's going to be a junior. He's going to be a junior in high school. He's an only child in the family, and he's already back on duty at the beach. He says, I just want to, I'm a lifeguard. I mean, look at that surf is just incredible. Okay, let's have a little Fauci fun here. I mean, and by the way, I'm really serious. How is it possible? And again, in fact, I think I was, I hate to brag, but I think I was among the first people to point out that what's going to happen at the hearing. I said Fauci's going to take the 5th, and then they're going to complain that he refuses to cooperate before Congress, so they're going to get him for contempt. Well, that's what they're going to do. Because he took the 5th, and now Rand Paul says we're going to go after him. We're going to vote on articles of contempt of Congress. Not that that'll be anything, but it's a thing. Now, and we'll be talking about this. But how could these Democrats? You're going to hear these Republicans talking to him, and the Democrats just heaping praise on Fauci. How could anybody who went through the COVID pandemic disaster praise him as a great leader for all the good things he did during the pandemic? Really? The schools, the kids, the families, the old ladies dying in nursing homes where you can't go say goodbye to Grammy. I mean, remember, the thinking on your neighbors. You can't go outside. I mean, it's just a
nightmare. 6 feet that meant nothing. The masks that meant nothing.
Yeah. The 6-foot circles. And again, remember the mask. If you go out to dinner, they said, well, keep your mask on. But when you're ready to take a bite, you can pull the mask down, put the food in your mouth, and then put the mask back up. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously.
And keeping the schools closed because the teachers' unions wanted the schools closed.
Yeah.
And not a peep from Fauci
because
to
they
say,
made
no.
All those teachers all of a sudden got to stay home. I'll be damned. That was a nice little gift.
They were posting pics from the Caribbean beaches.
That's right.
Saying how they did not want to go back because they'd be in danger from the children.
Because they can always go on the internet. Just have a laptop or a computer. You can do your school teaching. Flounder, just for the fun of it, let's do cut number 1 here, where the man of the hour, the Mengele of America, decides how he's going to treat this hearing today. Cut number 1.
Although it pains me to do so, because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you.
Fauci said because of Senator Paul's obvious obsession with calling for my prosecution, his repeated slanderous comments about me, recently is publicly releasing my unredacted personal diary aimed at embarrassing and intimidating me. The only conclusion I can reach is the sole reason he's calling me is to get me to say something that could vindicate his repeated public pledges that I end up behind bars. Well, duh. And that's exactly what should be happening. Rand Paul pressed him about federal funding of the gain-of-function research in China. Was a little ticked off about it. And in fact, let's see. Hold on a second. During the, in fact, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's play cut number 2. Here's Senator Josh Hawley. Senator Josh Hawley had a little fun with him today as he called Fauci the disgrace of America in our lifetime. Cut number 2, Flounder, if you will, sir.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Hello? That we just played that one?
No, it's the setup.
Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment.
I got you.
Because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people.
Hawley said the man's ashamed and a disgrace of anybody he's known in this country for what he's gone through. Anyway, we have so much more. Sorry, Flounder, I thought I misheard the first part.
No,
of
you're
this
good.
statement.
It was just I kind of set it up that way. They know it.
Absolutely, as it should be. All right, we got so much more. That's all that's coming up. Also, the case of this so-called civil rights attorney Ben Crump, mountain out of a molehill, and more racism in America, and Miss Rachel and everything else, and the debates and Tom got it all here. Hump Day, look out.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Have you downloaded your mobile driver's license yet? If no, why not? The Georgia Digital Driver's License and ID is available in your Apple, Google, and Samsung wallet. It's free, secure, and easy to use. Download it today to skip the line when you visit a DDS center. To learn more about Georgia's digital license and ID, visit dds.georgia.gov. That's dds.georgia.gov. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
It's Toyota's Big One sales event at Marietta Toyota now through August 3rd. And if you commute every day, the 2026 Toyota Camry may be the one to see first. It's now all hybrid with up to 53 miles per gallon city, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And with 50 Camrys in stock, Marietta Toyota has the selection to help you find the trim and color you actually want. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. And we've been voted Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Camry Hybrid. As low as 4.99% APR for 48 months through August 3rd. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota, since 1975. We've been here and will be here for you.
4.99% APR for 48 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/3/2026. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title, and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Housing affordability. Regardless of what the left says, I do think most Americans would like to own their own home, but they're getting expensive. The price is increasing way faster than inflation. And why? Oh, because people in regulatory agencies and government want to feel powerful. So let's have some rules and regulations. It's one big three-syllable word: government.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
That's old Prince here. I could tell for a second there. 1984. Prince became the first person to have a #1 song and star in a #1 movie at the same time. It happened when Purple Rain topped the box office, when Doves Cry stayed atop the Hot 100 4 weeks in a row. Oh, here we go. The film grossed $70 million, won Best Original Score at the 57th Academy Awards, and the songs When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy, and Purple Rain all went platinum in the United States, and he was the first one to do it in 1984. Prince. Yeah, let's see here. Here's a fun birthday. Ato Essendo. 54 years old. I had no idea who that was until I looked him up. Ato Essendo is 54. In fact, hold on. I got a little. I took a little note from Grok about Ato Essendo, and I got it right here. If I could, here we go. Ato Essendo was known for two things. And now I can't find it. Here we go. Ato Essendo, known for two things. He was in the movie Jason Bourne. He was the black guy who played the top CIA director's aide in a big starring role in the Jason Bourne movie. But he was also played the character D'Artagnan, a Mandingo fighter enslaved by Calvin Candy in the movie Django Unchained. And his character, if you don't remember his character, he was a fighter, and they used to put on fights so that the guy, Candy, could have fun watching him fight. And he got a kind of a gruesome end because he was torn apart by dogs. And when he got torn apart by dogs, that's when the star of the show, the Dr. Schultz, and the little wagon with a horse, that's when he killed Candy, who's played by the star who has all the young girlfriends. I can't remember his name now. I mean, the name won't come out. Anyway, so that's Ato the guy. Now, the hell with this thing. Let's go. Keep doing this. Sorry. I'm still, honestly, I'm flabbergasted about them. Every time from now on when they have a hearing in Congress, it's going to be a joke. It's going to be a joke. The division and the hate is so strong and so, unbending that it almost doesn't matter what it is. The Democrats are all going to stick together. They're all going to do the same thing. They're all going to say Fauci's a hero and should be lauded, and you're picking on him, and you're trying to, they're the same old thing, doing what they did, which is to use the Justice Department and the federal government to go after people, which is what they did. I mean, it's killing me.
That's fine. We know what the Democrats are going to do. The question is, the Republicans are in power. What are they going to do? Josh Hawley just said that he was in contempt of Congress, Fauci, for pleading the fifth, that he had no right to plead the fifth.
Right.
So what are they going to do about it?
They're going to, in fact, they are going to take a vote. They're going to consider appropriate action taken against you for failure to being direct against the law to obstruct the justice, and they're going to have a meeting, and I don't remember whether it's going to be this week or next week, but they're going to vote. He's going to have the committee committee vote on a contempt of Congress charge. So at least
we'll see.
Now that may not do anything. Well, hell, Mayorkas got convicted of contempt of Congress and nothing ever happened. Hell, he got impeached and nothing happened to him. I mean, it's unbelievable. But again, at least, and I don't understand why, if you are given a pardon, what's that got to do with the testimony you're giving on this day when the pardon doesn't cover this day?
It's all like a game.
Yeah,
and
it's
they just work the loopholes.
I know. And when I watch every single Democrat, although one exception, in fact, I made a couple notes about this, and I can't remember which page it is. John Fetterman. And I thought this was, this is the hearing on Fauci testifying before the Senate today. John Fetterman, Senator of Pennsylvania, we all know the history of him. He said, I'm not here to praise you or condemn you, but I do want to say one thing. He said, I think when we look back, this sounds the most reasonable thing any Democrat said about the whole deal. Fetterman said, basically, when we look back, it was wrong to label discussions about whether the COVID virus came from a wet market or a laboratory. When Fetterman said, the people were saying, it looks like this could very well have been coming from a laboratory. The FBI was saying it could come. I mean, people were saying that. And Fetterman says it was wrong for people to condemn the people who said we need to look at whether it's coming off of a lab. It's not fair to condemn people for saying, hey, wait a minute, it looks like this came from their freaking laboratory. That's not wrong.
No.
But it is wrong for all those Democrats except Fetterman. I mean, again, that's what it amazes me. How could anybody in their right mind think anything other than, boy, we really screwed that up? All the things we know now.
They fired people. They ruined careers.
Military. They kicked you out of the military for not taking the shot. I couldn't see my children without taking the shot. How about that, Fauci? Screw you. Up yours, buddy. I mean, I was glad to do it because I want to see my children and my grandkids. But I had to take a shot before my daughter would let me see my own kids.
And hiding the hydroxychloroquine and putting
all
it down, the ivermectin, all the stuff that we found out later that worked.
Yeah.
They sit there and they
horse medicine.
Because they weren't making money off of it.
That's unbelievable. I mean, and thank God some people actually called him out for it. Josh Hawley, again, the disgrace. And he was having fun when he was asking him. Was it Josh Hawley was asking the questions, what color is your tie? What color is the carpet in front of you? I plead the fifth. They had to go
we
through
have
the whole
that audio.
Let's play a little of that.
Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
I plead the fifth.
What color tie are you wearing?
No, but I can tell you that I plead the fifth.
What color is the carpet in front of you?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's how about the whole freaking day. And after that, Dr. Fauci admitted that after he had those beagles tortured and eaten by sandflies and then killed, that he actually ate the puppies. So, I mean, it was an incredible hearing as it turned out.
Raw.
Yeah,
raw.
Raw. Yeah, didn't even cook oh, God. Anyway, now, let's not stop there. Let's not stop there. How about Bernie Moreno? Man, I saw this and I thought, ooh, I like this guy. Bernie Moreno's Republican from Ohio, senator. And he talked about Fauci concerning the pandemic and calling the people who said it was from a Wuhan virus racist and so on and so forth. Here's Bernie Moreno talking about Fauci and what he said, what he thinks about Fauci and what he did for this pandemic. Cut number 3, Flounder, if you will. Number 3.
It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the f*** do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace.
I'll tell you, this Bernie Moreno is a very impressive guy, and he's the one who actually said, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, if during the time of COVID you were called a racist for calling the virus Wuhan or China virus, if you thought the 6-foot rule was total crap, If you thought the vaccine wasn't something you should take, if you thought it was outrageous the way the mask policy was rolled out, if you were fired from your job for not taking that vaccine, including members of the military, if you thought closing schools was catastrophically stupid, saying these things made you somehow a lesser human being, I want you to stand up. And the crowd did stand up, and then he tried to get Fauci to turn around and look at him. And Fauci instead got advice from his lawyers to not do anything. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, just that list of things that he did and he was part of.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah, you were racist if you dared to say it came out of a Chinese lab when we knew it came out of a Chinese lab.
In fact, it's called the Chinese Wuhan Virus Laboratory, a virology lab. Virology is virus. I mean, it's kind of a clue. That's what we call a clue.
So I don't know who it was that pointed out that the only one that we had was in Omaha, and they tried to blame the Omaha Steaks people or Longhorn Steak 7 miles down the road as of causing it. No one would have believed that.
It's unbelievable. In fact, let's have a little fun here, Flounder. Let's do a recap, in case you missed it, about Fauci complaining about people who called it a wet market thing. Cut number 5 here is Fauci, a little montage of him saying, oh, no, this was obviously some monkey by accident. We had nothing to do with it.
It likely jumped species from an animal reservoir into humans and now is spreading among humans. The mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human.
And you have animals that come out of the wild that are sold at these open, what they call them, wet markets, where people buy these things for festive dinners or what have you. So there's every reason to believe that that jumping of species from an animal reservoir occurred. That the most likely origin is a natural origin from an animal reservoir to human.
What they did is they cleaned out the markets as soon as it turned out that it was clear that there were clusters coming from the market, which, in typical fashion, I think, trying to make sure that things don't get pointed to them. They probably got rid of the animals that were the intermediary hosts.
He blames them for the cover-up.
Yeah.
He blames them for the cover-up.
Took our money.
Oh, my God. Flounder, phone call, state priority.
We got Mark on the horn.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? What do you think, man?
I'm doing well, Kimmer. I watched or listened to most of that testimony yesterday. Heads have got to roll. Fauci needs to be held accountable. Otherwise, people are going to stop trusting the government.
Well, we already don't. Yeah, God forbid that happens.
The surveillance cameras that you're aware of, you mentioned that the other day. They're being too intrusive. Fauci needs to be held accountable, period.
Absolutely. Well, they're starting. This is a beginning.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Again, sure. We'll talk. We'll do this again later on in the day. We're going to, in case you missed it, a lot of people were obviously doing things at 9 o'clock in the morning, so you may miss part of it. We got more coming up on that too, but I had to kick out his lawyer. Make a spectacle typical. Anyway. All right, hold on. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Hump Day and doubleheader Braves game tonight. Well, I think the first game probably over. We'll find out. We'll talk about it here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out. Here we go.
Safe streets in Atlanta shouldn't be a luxury, but it's your vote that will make the difference. Real talk about real neighborhoods without the excuses. Only on Atlanta's conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
When cell coverage goes down, how are you going to reach your family? Get the ultimate emergency walkie-talkies from Rapid Radios with instant push-to-talk communication coast to coast using nationwide LTE networks. And best of all, no monthly fees, no subscriptions, ever. Now at rapidradios.com/bundle. The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 2 radios, get 1 free. Every bundle includes a full year of service and free shipping. Secure your communications today. Visit rapidradios.com/bundle. Rapid Radios. Communication redefined.
Finding the right vehicle should be simple. That's why Atlanta drivers trust Jim Ellis Buick GMC for selection, value, and exceptional service.
From daily commutes to weekend getaways, you'll find the right vehicle at Jim Ellis Buick GMC. Shop our extensive selection of new Buick and GMC models, take advantage of competitive offers, and enjoy a customer service experience designed around convenience.
Whether you're looking for a capable truck, a versatile SUV, or a premium driving experience, you'll find it here. With flexible shopping options and a commitment to outstanding service, we make it easy to shop with confidence. Start online by browsing inventory, valuing your trade, exploring payment options, and scheduling a test drive.
Visit in person and experience the professional, customer-focused service that has made Jim Ellis a trusted name for generations. Visit JimEllisBuickGMC.com or shop at one of our 2 convenient locations in Chamblee on Peachtree Boulevard inside the perimeter or in Buford off Highway 20 near the Mall of Georgia.
Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Think about everything your home's done for you over the years and where you've celebrated milestones, welcomed friends and family, built a lifetime of memories. Maybe your home has earned an upgrade. How about Jeff Shea and the team at Peach State Windows installing beautiful fiberglass French entry doors for just $69.85? Plus, how about a lifetime warranty and 0% financing for 12 months? 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com. Peach State Windows. Your home has earned it.
You've worked hard to save, and many even have a financial advisor. But is your portfolio as efficient as it can be? I'm here today with Evan Ward of Atlas Retirement, where our listeners can get a second opinion on their retirement savings. So, Evan, tell folks the biggest benefits of getting that second look.
Well, it's clarity. It's confidence. And I had a client come in the other day, and she thought, and she is, exceptionally conservative financially. And that's the way she had told her financial advisor to investors. She thought she was paying very little in fees. We came into the full review of her portfolio. She was taking a great deal of risk, so much so that she, in a good market, was down like 15-20%. But then the thing that really put her over the top, the thing that she had no idea is she was paying about 4.5% a year in fees. It was an outrageous kick in the teeth to her. But the good news is there are ways to fix that problem pretty quickly and get you in line with what you actually thought you had.
Second opinions obviously are important, Evan, and as is reviewing what you have in place, right? You don't want to set it and forget it. You don't want to put a retirement plan together and just think, okay, now I'm good for the future, right?
Well, the way I view retirement and retirement plans is they're living, breathing things. Because the one thing I can promise you, I can promise me, and I can promise every single person that walks in our office is life will throw you curveballs. Things will change, and we've got to adapt with them. So if we aren't having annual reviews, and as you get closer to retirement, even more so, we have to adapt and build from there.
If you'd like a second opinion when it comes to your savings and investments, call Atlas Retirement for a complimentary second opinion today. That number is 678-736-7799. That's 678-736-7799. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
I always like this song. I always like Olivia Newton-John pretty good, too. Had to go die on it. God. Grease. 1978, the film soundtrack to Grease. John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John went to #1 in the album chart. Sold 30 million copies. Syncopated beat, baby. One of the best-selling albums of all time, ranking among the biggest-selling soundtrack albums ever. This song, You're the One That I Want, went to #1 in both America and Britain. Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, 1978. Cute. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230. By the way, I have 4 musical history things here today, including one coming up here in a second. And birthday list includes Martina McBride of Satan, who is 60 years old. Oh, I might have added a syllable. Martina McTrader. No, that's Martina McCoward. No, Martina McBride of Satan is 60 years old, known for her famous songs and for chickening out of trying to help America celebrate a birthday because she was afraid that somebody would say she might be conservative when nobody's looking. I mean, what a freaking coward. You know, I guess when you get to the stage where you don't care anymore of what people, you know, I don't know, whatever. And Pete Davis, some bad news. We do not have on Flounder's musical list today, we do not have a Bob Dylan song. However, I do have.
I can change that like the tip of a hat if you need. Just let me know.
No, it's okay. But I thought it was fairly amusing because I have a Bob Dylan history note. In fact, I almost texted you this morning to say if you wanted to add one. But I'm messing around with you. I don't want to mess up your stuff. Bob Dylan on this day in 1966 almost killed himself on an old Triumph motorcycle. If you're a motorcycle guy, the Triumph motorcycle. Well, I think that was the same one that Steve McQueen rode in the movie about escaping, A Great Escape. I believe was a Triumph. The old motorcycles, there was a BSA and the Triumphs were back in the day, the Indians and so forth, as well as Harleys, of course. But on 1966, this day, 1966, Bob Dylan crashed his Triumph motorcycle in Woodstock, New York, broke several vertebrae in his neck. Dylan used the accident in 1966 to take a much-needed break and drop out of the public eye for 8 years while he was recording with his touring band, The Band. Dylan later commented, quote, "I had been in a motorcycle accident and I'd been hurt, but I recovered. Truth was that I wanted to get out of the rat race." 1966. And again, that was the year after I saw him live in concert. The year before the Beach Boys appeared in the same boys club where I saw Bob Dylan. Anyway, I know. Here we go. This is a post-crash song here.
Yeah, this is him with the band.
Oh, cool.
Standing on, I shake my face. You break your promise all over the place. You promised to love me, but what do I see? Just you coming and spilling juice over me. Odds and ends. Lost time is not found again.
That doesn't sound like Dylan at all. That's a whole different sound. I don't think I've ever listened to his song with the band. Anyway, little Bob Dylan. Kevin Payton Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Okay, I almost hate to bring this up and dwell on it, but it's a story that's making me really angry because it's something you ought to know what's going on with this country, and it all involves another black civil rights lawyer who's in it for himself and for the cause and trying to once again divide America, just like they did under Barack Hussein Puttitat with George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and everyone you can mention. The teenage kid, Nolan Wells, was a Mississippi teenager who was drinking heavily and then was with his friends on the 4th of July trip. And so he was with his buddies on a remote island off the coast of Mississippi. And there was an issue with the boat, and they said, "We need to leave." And he said, "No, I want to stay here." And he was talking to some girl, and then the girl said, "Well, he wasn't with me when we left." And all of a sudden, 2 days later, they found him dead in the water, wearing a bathing suit. Well, what happened is the family, the kid is black. Nolan Wells is black. All his friends are white. Of the whole group he was with, all white kids and one black kid. The family immediately called Ben Crump. But he called them. Got a hold of Ben Crump, and Ben Crump, I guess like a couple of days ago, Ben Crump got involved with the family and said, well, there's details that are missing here about he was in the company of a girl and all of a sudden she wasn't there. So did they abandon him? Did something happen? The Cajun Navy first said the place of powerful rip currents, stuff, that he was fully clothed. And then Ben Crump said, no, he wasn't fully clothed. That's suspicious. We got to find out about that. There was a red spot on the back of his head. Ben Crump, the so-called civil rights attorney, the George Floyd troublemaker, actually had a second autopsy. Now, you think he's doing this all for free? Somebody's paying for all this stuff as he continues talking about race being an issue. You couldn't see the condition of the body pulled from the water. All the information supporting when he into the water, the cause and manner of death. The pathologist said, well, there's no indication that he was beaten or anything. And then some kids also came out and said, hey, he had been drinking, He was only 18 years old, but he was drinking. By the way, he was a very healthy star athlete and looked like a jock, 18 years old. And so anyway, now the family hired this lawyer. And then the Cajun Navy says, now, wait a minute. The family said that they talked to us and they lied about that. Ben Crump lied about that. And by the way, Ben Crump made his comments about the autopsy in front of the NAACP. Now, why the hell would he have done that other than to go to a black audience and then the family gets him going through over and over and over about the things that they don't know about this case. And then there's one more update today. This is unbelievable. Once again, Ben Crump, before the National Association of Advancement of Colored People convention in Chicago, picks that as a place to say, this is a racist thing. We got to investigate this stuff. And now Miss Rachel is involved. You know who Miss Rachel is? She's a YouTuber, has like millions of people, and she does her stuff for children. She's a children's
children.
She's a YouTube children host. And her social media posts now, somehow she's now getting involved in this Nolan Wells mysterious death, they're calling it. The content creator says, we know the investigation and everything that followed would have been different if Nolan Wells were white and his friends were black. Nolan and his family deserve justice. Holy smoke. It shows the fact that there were no racist things because all his friends were white. I mean, how can you turn into a racist thing when all his friends were white kids? It's exactly the opposite of racism. He was part of the group. Yep. Oh, my God.
She owes an apology. If it turns out that it was just accidental, she owes an apology. You think she'll say anything?
No, please.
No.
Hey, Flounder, we got time for a funny, or did I blow it? I probably blew it.
Joe Biden, here's the funny thing. If Joe Biden wasn't a politician, if he wasn't famous, if he was just some random old guy sitting by himself in a diner, repeating himself, there's nobody with him. You would have empathy for him, going like, oh, my God, is there anybody with that guy? Oh. I mean, that is really dangerous. Who's going to help him out? How's he going to know he already had pie? He could eat himself to death, right? Second he's a Democrat or a Republican, you're just like, you old man, you're losing your mind. You're going crazy. You already said that.
Bill Burr right there.
Bill Burr, the man. Oh, mercy. All right, happy hump day. We got some Braves news. Pete Davis for that. We'll do a little quick update. A doubleheader today, so we'll keep you posted. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, hump day 106.3. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
The president doubles down on Lisa Brady, Fox News. After pausing U.S. strikes on Iran for several days, President Trump is signaling there will be a response to an attempted attack overnight on U.S. forces in Jordan.
We're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it.
Just telling reporters in the Oval Office.
We had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot, so it's our turn.
Though also saying a deal is still possible at some point. The U.S. and Saudi Arabia launching strikes earlier in Iraq, targeting Iran-backed militias. President Trump also says he's been briefed on an incident in Egypt, where a British maritime security firm says drone strikes sparked fires on 2 natural gas vessels at an Egyptian port. A contentious hearing for the man who helped lead the nation's COVID response.
Dr. Anthony
Fauci not answering questions.
Based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
Over what Homeland Security Committee Chair Republican Rand Paul says was a man-made COVID-19 epidemic from a lab in China that he says NIH, through Dr. Fauci, funded.
To many Americans who lost family members, who lost trust in our federal government, you're not a hero. Unfortunately, you're a villain.
Florida Senator Republican Rick Scott, as Democrats, including Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, call the hearing.
The campaign to vilify you, Dr. Fauci, is just one part of this larger campaign against science.
Fauci's attorney also removed from the hearing after repeatedly attempting to intervene.
Fox's Jeff Benasso, the committee is planning a vote on holding Fauci in contempt, questioning his Fifth Amendment rights after a preemptive pardon from President Biden. A sell-off on Wall Street, the Dow down 1,152 points at the bell, hitting session lows after briefly paring losses earlier as the Fed meeting wrapped up. America is listening to Fox News.
When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. A, that it works, and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our audience do that. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I want you to hear a few of their stories. Joni shared that before Relief Factor, her husband couldn't open his hands in the morning and had to give up playing the guitar. Now he wakes up with flexibility, and he's back to playing music. They are both recommending Relief Factor to friends as a way to enjoy the things they love again. I get what Joni's husband went through. I couldn't paint. I couldn't button my own shirts in the morning. The pain made it so difficult to hold a paintbrush or button my shirts. It was horrible. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
Post, I hate the New York Post. Here we go. Hold on. We got it. Here we go. Little mamas and papas. On this day, 1974, Cass Elliot died in her sleep after a heart attack. She had played a sold-out show in London. Mama Cass Elliot was staying at Harry Nielsen's London flat when she died. Her Dream a Little Dream of Me hit and getting better. And she had also been a member of the Mugwumps. The urban legend was that she died from choking on a ham sandwich. That's not true. In fact, in 2020, a journalist and friend, Sue Cameron, publicly admitted she started the false ham sandwich story by writing it into Elliot's obituary for The Hollywood Reporter at the request of Cass Elliot's manager, Alan Carr. He had decided that the humiliating falsehood was preferable to any implication that Elliot's death was associated with substance abuse. She was 32 years old and died in the same flat that Keith Moon would die in 4 years later. Even though she initially chose the nickname Mama Cass at the forming of the Mamas and the Papas, she grew to hate the name and later just began her solo career as Cass Elliot. So, anyway, Mamas and the Papas. A weird birthday story here today. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230. Tim Gunn's birthday. Tim Gunn, 73. He's that Project Runway fashion guy. And Tim Gunn, he kind of makes a note of this, and it was prominently displayed as I put the birthday list down here together. Tim Gunn, 73, says he has been celibate for 43 years. And the reason he's been celibate for 43 years is because his lover, his person of, not a husband, but a lover, a companion, his other one, well, they were in bed watching MASH on TV, and the guy turned to him and said, I don't want to do this anymore. You're boring me. You get out. And admitted he'd been cheated on. And Tim Gunn said for 43 years he's been celibate because his As some guy told him he had been cheating on him and didn't want him anymore, and that's 43 years worth. Anyway, and now, well, that's enough. I'll get the history stuff later here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? A couple of other things now that happened to the Fauci hearing today, and again, I've got to kind of get organized here, that happened. Oh, and Flounder, let's do this. During the hearing today, Rand Paul had been telling the attorney, Fauci brought in like 6 or 8 attorneys with him, and they were told where to sit and didn't do it, and it's going to play cut number 4 here, Flounder. And Rand Paul finally had enough and had the guy chucked out. Here, number 4.
He is not recognized by the committee or the chair. If he speaks again, he will be removed from the room. This testimony is from Anthony Fauci. This is not a game with his lawyers. He can advise. His lawyers can give him advice. He's got a half dozen here. They're all allowed to talk to him. Yes. All right? Yeah. But the attorneys are not recognized. In fact, the attorney was told not to sit at the table, and he's not obeying that recommendation. There's a row behind you, sir. That's where you were told to sit, and you're not. And now you're disrupting the proceedings. And so, look, this is the way Anthony Fauci wants to be remembered. For a lawyer not listening to the rules. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir. Security, please remove him from the room.
There you go. Anyway, that was one of the interesting event there today at the hearing with Fauci. Also, a couple other things came up quickly in case you missed it. There was a Senator Ashley Moody from Florida, Republican, also mentioned about Fauci's NIAID diaries, which he said were authentic in his opening statement. And she quoted from them saying that Fauci said, "I spoke with Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York City, convinced him based on what I was saying publicly and my conversation to close the New York City schools. He had decided based on what I was saying on TV. I went on to tell him he should close the bars and restaurants in New York City, and he said would do it based on my recommendation." Fauci's denied that he had anything to do with closing schools. I mean, over and over and over. Josh Hawley. We mentioned him before. We're going to play some more of him later. Josh Hawley said your staff was illegally soliciting prize money while serving as director of the NIAID. You were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally, totaling over $1 million. The Dan David Award, the Partnership for Public Service, the Adelson Prize, the Smithsonian Award, the National Academy of Medicine's Award. You got the CDC Foundation, 8 separate federal employees on federal time with federal resources to solicit cash awards. And you would see one more thing. Senator Joni Ernst, Republican, Iowa, revealed that Fauci approved the use of aborted baby body parts in research with mice. The doctor and his colleagues put parts of livers, thymus, and chunks of human fetal lung, which they got from aborted 5-month-old human babies. They put those parts into research mice. They disgustingly named them BLT-L mice, and wrote that they created a sandwich of aborted body parts in the mice. She said, get it, folks? BLT, a BLT sandwich? Thankfully, Senator Ernst said the current HIA director has said no more of this. Dr. Fauci, yes or no, do you think the human aborted parts should be put into mice for coronavirus research? I have to take the Fifth Amendment. I mean, that's what the hearing, I mean, that's, you know, and again, these hearings, I hate to say it, but again, they're a dog and pony show because Republicans say one thing, what they want. Democrats counter with something they want, and nothing ever, and that's the ballgame. So, and at some point, it's just, you know, it's just watching it for entertainment. I mean, seriously, I watch it because, I mean, I knew what they were all going to say. I didn't know what parts of it, you know, what specifically, but it was entertainment. It was like watching it was like watching Joe Rogan's podcast, talking to people. Seriously, to me, I mean, it seemed like that. Anyway, all right. I guess the answer to this question in Kansas. Let's see. Hold on, everything.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good. So, phone calls take priority. What do you got there? Who do you got there? Who is this? Oh, we don't.
Robbie.
Hey, Robbie, how you doing, man?
I'm just so tore up about this Fauci thing. I mean, he's the highest paid
federal worker in the United States at $500,000 a year, and yet he won't even answer questions for the people. For his pension, I mean, doggone it, what's it going to take to straighten these people out?
Especially since he got a pardon. The man got away with it. He got a pardon, and he was afraid, and he knew he was going to get caught. And the bottom line is that America should know that this guy is such a weasel that even though he got a pardon from the President of the United States, he was too much of a chicken to admit that he was going to be a dirty, rotten liar who mismanaged everything, and they could prove it if he gave the truthful answers today. And if he didn't give truthful answers, they could get him for perjury. All they can get him for now is contempt of Congress for refusing to cooperate, even though he had a pardon. It's disgusting. I mean, this scandal of the last Biden administration is absolutely the worst thing that ever happened to this country in our history.
Yeah, nothing is done. That's what hurts.
Brutal.
I mean, it's like, dang.
Yeah. It's not right. All right, thanks, man. Be careful out there. I appreciate it. I mean, this is just, really, it's just very, very depressing.
The powerful, once they're in the cool kids club, they're not accountable for anything. No one holds them accountable. Something has to happen to this guy. It's over. We just pay no attention. If they try and pull a stunt like this again, just ignore them.
Well, I mean, they keep doing it. The January 6th Commission. The Democrats just made it a joke. They had a couple of, rhino Republicans on it, so-called Republicans, to make it as though they actually were bipartisan, which is a bunch of crap. And that's what the Democrats do. Again, a public hearing to try to humiliate the enemy, to try to shut them up and dox them and everything. And they do the same thing today. I don't understand how a member of the United States Senate, whatever party, could really defend what happened under COVID as a brilliant, wonderful, life-saving gesture by America and our leader, Dr. Fauci, to save all those lives. I mean, how can they say that out loud?
They stick to the lie. They stick to the big lie long enough where they think that there's enough stupid people out there, uneducated people, that won't pay attention and won't care and will forget about it by next week.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think, again, even though I keep saying it, remember the mask, remember the 6-foot circle, remember you couldn't go see your family, remember no Thanksgiving dinner, no kids playing sports, nobody in school. I mean, all the horrible things that fell behind in grades and stuff for education, all that stuff. And it's like, well, that's over.
Well, when we come back, I got some audio of when the media just hated the unvaccinated and blamed them.
Outstanding. Flounder, hey, boy, Kimmer Payne, Flounder, and the Fauci Day, Dr. Mengele, Modern America. Look out.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, it's that time of year again, and even more sad this time than ever, the time when parents take the most precious thing in their lives, their children, and turn them over to the government they know can't do a damn thing right for an education. Now, the American Federation of Teachers, headed by that troll, Randy Weingarten, recently had their convention. And where? Well, not Raleigh or Dallas, no, Washington, D.C., where all of the Democrats that they own, lock, stock, and barrel, are meeting. Just keep in mind, and this is an important fact, 99.89% of all political contributions from this teachers' union go to Democrats. Now, at this convention, they introduced a lot of resolutions. And I'll just bet you thought that they were all about how to improve education for your little curtain climbers. So let me save you from that conclusion. Just to give you a little taste of what was going on, the president of the California Teachers Union in a speech said, "We need to be in the streets to fight back against this fascist regime." Yeah, there's a teachers union. Then they introduced and passed a May 1 resolution, a day of civic action for political protests, and directed that students receive training, political education, and participation in marches and rallies. They then had their Abolish ICE resolution, their Mobilize for the 2026 elections resolution, where they'll promote Democrats, of course, a resolution to make Washington, D.C. a state, and one to kill off Donald Trump's nationwide school choice plan. Oh, and they weren't going to leave the trannies out of the mix. Another resolution backing gender-affirming care. Where? In the schools? This would include sex change surgeries, hormones, and puberty blockers across all stages of life. And then they looked for some sort of way to get the government to prevent teachers from leaving the union. Already running long here, but I have one favor to ask of you. Ask your child's teacher if they are a member of the American Federation of Teachers. If they are, be very afraid. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Your life isn't one size fits all, so why would your bank be? At Truist, you get a caring and knowledgeable team that really understands you. You get real talk about real life, tools that help keep you informed, and a plan that keeps you ready so you're confident no matter what comes your way. And when all that comes together, it makes you feel unstoppable. Get started today at Truist.com. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Drake Baldwin here to talk about my personal Rookie of the Year, Superior Plumbing. They say you can't be Rookie of the Year more than once, but Superior has been proving themselves for over 40 years as the GOAT of plumbing. Whenever I need a leak repaired, toilet replaced, or water heater, I call Superior Plumbing, and you should too. They handle each job with care and honesty. For Superior, there's no job too small.
For Superior, the honest one, call 770-422 Plum.
Your next vehicle is at Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs. Whether you need a truck that works as hard as you do, an SUV built for family adventures, or a vehicle that makes every commute more enjoyable, you'll find it at Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs.
Shop an outstanding selection of new Ford models, including the F-150, Bronco, Explorer, Escape, and more, plus a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles.
At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, our team is committed to making your buying experience quick, easy, and convenient so you can spend less time at the dealership and more time enjoying the drive.
Start online at JimEllisFordSandySprings.com. Browse inventory, value your trade, explore payment options, even complete your entire purchase from the comfort of home. Discover why so many drivers choose Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs. Visit JimEllisFordSandySprings.com or stop by 7555 Roswell Road, just 4 miles north of I-285. Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you can always expect the best.
Got a weird story here for you about Led Zeppelin. On this day, 1973, at Madison Square Garden, New York, had a 3-night gig, and at the end of their 33-date North American tour, it was on this day they lost almost $200,000. It was cash. It was thought to be $203,000. Actually, as it turned out, the latest shows that it was $180,000 in cash, $100 bills, 1,800 of them, stolen from a safety deposit box at their New York City hotel. The tour manager said the money had been accounted for early in the day, but was gone by 7:30 at night. No evidence the box had been tampered with. The passports for the band members of Led Zeppelin were still in the cash safety deposit box. Opening the safety deposit box required both the hotel employee's key and the patron's key, which had been in possession of the tour manager. The crime has never been solved. And in fact, the manager, Richard Cole, who discovered the theft, was arrested as a suspect and questioned by police and later released. They had no evidence, and no one knows how the hell the money got missing and who had the 2 keys. It didn't make any sense anyway. And a quick thing, I got a birthday. Let's do a birthday here. Roz Kelly. Roz, R-O-Z Kelly, is an actress, 83 years old. Roz Kelly played Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days on TV those many years ago. And on this day, in 1967, the USS Forrestal, disaster aboard when fire attacks the ship, killed 134 people. The Forrestal was, and this is 1967, trying to launch attacks on Vietnam. A rocket from one of the F-4 Phantom jet fighters accidentally launched and struck several parked Skyhawk jets, which were waiting to take off. One of those parked Skyhawks was piloted by John McCain, the future U.S. Senator from Arizona. The fuel from the Skyhawk spilled onto the ship's deck, caught fire. The presence of outdated and volatile bombs began exploding. Some of the bombs, dated back to 1953, were stored on deck. They felt they were too unstable to store with the rest of the ordnance. It was determined by investigators that a surge in the electrical system caused the rocket to fire off. It would have been prevented if proper safety procedures had been followed. They weren't. The safety pigtail knot had been installed earlier. If it had been, speeding up launch procedure, and it would have prevented the rocket launch from being blown off into high winds anyway. It was a Forrestal thing, 1967 in Vietnam, trying to help the troops. Kevin Pete and Flounder, 422. Here we go. Another, the progressive left. They're at it again. This is just a breaking story this afternoon. The environmental and social justice movement behind the Green New Deal is back with the Democrats' agenda, this time targeting America's public schools. You know this guy, this Representative Pramila Jayapal, that chick from the state of Washington? Oh, what? She's a snake. Oh, my, she's a vicious, hate-filled snake communist. Yeah, Pramila Jayapal. And she has introduced a bill to establish a Green New Deal for public schools. 5 years ago, they tried it with Jamal Bowman, another one from New York, wanted to invest hundreds of billions of dollars into grants for public schools to make clean energy upgrades and promote curriculum changes focused on social and environmental equity. It would have aimed at the...
Let's don't fix the education.
I swear to God.
Let's push a political ideology on it.
And get some NGOs to help out with all those grants available to help the kids learn more about social conscience. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. They were aiming at place-based and experimental education and community curricula, focusing that affirms and underlies principles of the Green New Deal. The connections between racial, economic, and environmental and climate justice. They would have grant funding marked for diversifying the workforce and expanding social service programming. Oh, my God. I mean, here they go again. Are you serious?
Best shot. Give it your best shot where I live. See what happens.
I mean, honestly,
they won't educate them. They don't care about educating. They just care about shoving an ideology down their throats.
It's, we had no idea about this swamp. We had no idea, and there's no way to kill it. We're going to have the revolution. I mean, they're going to have to. I mean, I don't even want to think about that. Anyway, how about this? See if we can guess the answer to this. Kansas City high school teacher named Lux Claridge was yanked out of his chair by police officers and carried out of the Emporia City Commission in Kansas meeting for disobeying the mayor's orders regarding clapping against the bill that was being discussed. He was dragged out of the city zoning meeting for opposition to, what do you think he was protesting? That they literally dragged him out of his chair by police and took him outside. He was protesting the new possibility of having a data center in Emporia, Kansas. More and more and more people are getting very upset about these data centers. This guy is a physics teacher, 37 years old. opposing the data center, dozens other. A woman and audience members gave silent jazz hand applause when they kicked him out. But the guy, this teacher, clapped 5 times, and the mayor, Becky Smith, said, "Where do you want the police to get you?" "Yeah, Becky, wanted to get you out of here, sir." He said, "I'm waiting to speak. I'm waiting to speak." And he says, "I have a right to clap." And he says, "You're going to have to drag me out of here." So they did. They literally, they carried him out. And other officers, the other teachers were stunned. This guy's wife was crying. Oh, my God. They literally carried him away and booked him for, whatever, violating something. And he said, "This guy's kind of free speech at a hearing, isn't it? Really?"
Sounds like a few local politicians are getting their palms greased by these data center folks.
I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of the whole data center thing. In fact, I'm not even sure what the issues are. One, it requires a tremendous amount of space and power. So it takes over. Is it so big that it takes over like neighborhoods? It can't go out in the woods.
What? We put our nuclear waste in Nevada. There's nothing there. Put it in Nevada.
Yeah. But again, I don't know whether that means that
there's plenty of room.
And I know one complaint is that if the data center people want to, they can start charging more for local electricity, and local communities are complaining that they should give their fair share to the local communities. I'm really not sure what the issue is, but people hate the idea of data centers. And by the way, I believe it's true. If China comes up with all these data centers and the AI thing, and they beat us to the race of owning everything, we're screwed. So I think we have to. It's like the space race. We have to do it. I think, don't we?
Yeah, I think the problem is they're going to need their own power stations. They're going to have small nuclear power stations to fund or power some of these things. And, of course, Elon's trying to put them in space. That could fix the problem if he figures that out.
Yeah. Again, I don't know about security or, I don't know. I can't think. My mind isn't in there. I don't know what the problem is. If there's just big factories of computers or generators or something out in the boonies, and who cares? So,
but if it's drawing power and it browns out people or blacks out power and stuff like that, I can see why they'd be upset. Yeah.
Yeah, but shouldn't they be able to resource some of that power back so it doesn't affect the local communities?
We don't have enough power. In fact, Elon himself said it. We're going to have to quadruple, if not more, the power we have right now in the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah. So how are we going to make it?
Nuclear is the only thing they can do, and I hate nuclear, but that's the only thing they can do.
They can't do it by. They can't do it by windmills and sunshine with solar panels.
They're not going to build any more windmills.
Yeah, solar panels.
Isn't advanced enough. You can't do hydroelectric anymore because no one wants to dam the rivers anymore. You can't make any more lakes really. Yeah. They raise hell about that.
Well, again,
so it's nuclear or nothing.
And again, the other thing that kind of amazes me is there really has not been much of a public discussion of these data centers. Every once in a while there's been a protest here and there, and this guy got kicked out of a meeting, so that's a story. That's a story about it. But I think we need kind of a common dialogue about whether these things are good for the country and for the world. Yes, sir. Flounder, a phone call here.
Yeah, we got Cowboy on the horn, and there's a data center being built right next to his ranch.
Oh my God! Well, Cowboy, tell us the story. What's going on, and how do you feel about it?
Hey, Kimmer, hang on first of all.
Outstanding. God bless you. Be careful out there. Hit the horn. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're building one down here in Spalding County right beside my ranch. It's a quarter mile down the road. Now, we run off of well water, and they're going to use that water in the ground to cool these data centers because they get really hot. So it could affect our well water. And for not only for us, but for the livestock, we have filters and all that inside the house.
Wow.
But we run it, directly for the animals. But also the heat from those things, you can tell probably at, a 2 or 3 degree difference just being beside them. I think it's 5,000 square feet or 5,000 or no.
Probably 500,000 square feet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
And they're building the power plants now, but
But now in the water, wouldn't they be able to know how much water is available for them to suck out of the ground that wouldn't affect you? Isn't there some geologist who would know whether that's an invasion of your? I mean, if they drive your wells dry, that's not allowed. You can't do that. But someone should know whether they have enough water so it doesn't affect you, I would think.
Well, yeah, you would think. I mean, the ground, we're in the no, we're not in the Chattahoochee Basin. I forgot where we're at.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah,
the Talawega, something like that.
Yeah.
But there's water here, but it's the contamination of our water, because underneath the ground, the water doesn't run from north to south. It runs wherever it wants to run, the least resistant. So while they're digging around and they're pumping it through those cooling towers, they could be contaminating our drinking water.
Yeah. Well, you need to get to the bottom of that, because you can't go in and ruin the guy's ranch. I mean, I can see where you're concerned. That makes sense to me why you're concerned about it. They ought to be able to give you an answer, though.
It is out in the middle of nowhere, but we bought this place to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
To retire.
Yeah. Well, listen, a great I really appreciate it. I hadn't thought about that before, and please keep us posted if you get more about this stuff that it comes up. We'd love to hear from you. And be careful out there driving the big rig, man. I always wanted to get a Ken behind the wheel of a Kenworth and just take off, or a Big Mac, But that Kenworth was my dream, with big double pipes, and stuff. That was one of these days. Hey, thanks, Cowboy. All right, man. I appreciate it. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder,
Peterbilt.
Peterbilt also. Peterbilt and absolutely. Big time Charlie. All right, look out. Here we go. Hump Day, 106.3. We'll do a Braves talk coming up earlier.
Neil Boortz is only live on Extra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Extra 106.3 app.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. Like the 2026 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2026 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Step right up, America. Got equipment to sell or looking for something ready to work? PurpleWave.com. At Purple Wave Auction, it's as easy as it gets. Easy to sell, easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve, all online. Register for free.
No reserve. Don't wait. Get swinging over to PurpleWave.com. PurpleWave.com.
Hey, it's Drake Baldwin. Everyone knows my winning team on the field, but when there's no hot water, I need a win at my home base. When it comes to plumbing, my winning team is Superior. Superior Plumbing is there whenever I need a leak repaired, toilet replaced, or a water heater installed. For over 40 years, they've been Atlanta's go-to plumbers. And Superior is still locally owned. For Superior, there's no job too small.
For Superior, the honest one, 770-422 Plum.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
We talked a few days ago about the propensity of liberals to take every vocal utterance that they disagree with and label it as hate speech.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Now, but definitely August 1st, we're going. Got a whole new format change here.
Halftime update.
Because
Let's check in with Pete
the counting stuff. It's a long day. And things change. It's hold accountable for earlier stuff.
7 times.
I was very easy. It was all hearing stuff. I was just.
You paused for a minute or two to eat a pimento cheese sandwich, and then you were back.
I came back.
With more stuff.
Well, I had to keep.
So I think you did like 10 or 11 stories this morning. You sent to Flounder, and I think you've done 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got 3 or 4,
5, 6.
Well,
I think you've done 6.
Not bad. Yeah. We're working away. Got a few. Got so much sitting right here, including some leftovers. I think maybe. I don't remember. Anyway, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. Numbers 404-741-1230. I do have a birthday note for you. In fact, I thought that was kind of interesting. I'd totally forgotten about most of this. Elizabeth Dole's birthday. Elizabeth Dole is 90. Elizabeth Dole, the widow of former senator and presidential candidate Bob Dole. Elizabeth Dole, 90 years old. She was a United States senator from North Carolina. Elizabeth Dole was the Secretary of Transportation under Ronald Reagan. She was the Secretary of Labor under President Bush I. And Elizabeth Dole ran for president in the year 2000 and then eventually dropped out. Elizabeth Dole is 90 years old today. Good for her. She had what a hell of a career. I kind of forgotten all that stuff. And I mentioned the Forrestal accident in 1967, trying to get ready to help the troops in Vietnam. So here's a better Vietnam story. On this day in 1965, the first 4,000 paratroopers of the 101st Airborne arrive in Vietnam at Cam Ranh Bay. When they got there, they immediately made a demonstration jump, which was observed by General William Westmoreland and the outgoing ambassador, former General Maxwell Taylor. They were both former commanders of the Screaming Eagles, 101st Airborne. Long and storied history, combat jumps in the invasion of Normandy, the subsequent Market Garden Airborne in the Netherlands, and they distinguished themselves, 101st, by the defense of Bastogne during the Battle of the Bulge. The combat elements of the division, 10 battalions, air mobile infantry, 6 battalions of artillery, 3 aviation battalions of assault ships. The last Army division to leave Vietnam, the remnants of the 101st Airborne, returned to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. They were also operating, by the way, in Ao Shau Valley and Hamburger Hill Battle, Nhat Bia Mountain. By the way, the Division 101st Airborne had 20,000 killed or wounded in Vietnam, twice as many casualties as the 101st Airborne suffered in World War II. Twice as many in Vietnam than World War II. Kind of a bizarre. By the way, this is kind of interesting timing. We just talked to Cowboy and concerned about these, data centers and power centers and things so forth. Well, guess who else has got something to say about it? Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson says, fight water thieving. He was just telling us about the issue of the water. Willie Nelson says we need to think again about building the future. Willie Nelson's 93, and he's encouraging followers to fight against data centers invading our land. The country music legend reflects on being able to see the stars at night in Texas, but that light pollution and water thieving were imminent in a looming industrial climate. Willie Nelson says, I grew up in Abbott, have a home there, farmland where I can see stars at night. Now our community, like many others, needs to fight against data centers invading our land. The last thing we need is a loud, water-thieving, light-polluting data center anywhere near our town or any others for that matter. He said the strength of rural America has never come from big industrial footprints. It comes from generations of people, open spaces, local businesses, and a connection to the land. All of America deserves thoughtful stewardship, and that doesn't steal farmland where our essential shared food is grown, and small family farmers' livelihoods, not data centers that only destroy the environment around them. Whoever controls food and water controls the masses. Let's not allow our own demise or give up control of necessary resources in the United States, and especially in his little town in Texas. Wow, he's got the Farm Aid, of course, was a nonprofit he did with John Mellencamp. It weighs $90 million, and with Neil Young like 40 years ago, formed in 1985. help farmers raise funds to keep farmers on the land. Anyway, Willie Nelson about AI data centers. And again, here we go. I mentioned we need people to talk about it, and so we are, I guess. So that's at least good. All right, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-12.
I think these companies who are multi-billion-dollar companies come into these small areas and overwhelm the local politicians and basically either spread some money around or just pressure, or the aspect of maybe new jobs and the new stuff there. And I think it overwhelms some of these small communities. They don't know how to fight back if they need to fight back.
Well, and again, I really don't know how this starts. Obviously, somebody in these companies have people to go out looking for land. And so clearly, I pretty much, I guess, every spot of land in America has some kind of zoning thing regulating
Send it to Nevada.
Right? Yeah, but again, they can't have them all in the desert. I mean, you can't.
Why
you'd have
not?
to have you'd have to have pipelines or something to send the energy to where it goes.
Out there.
Well, I mean, Pete said it earlier. What Elon's trying to do is put this in space where you have unlimited space.
Yeah, but that's a 20-year project. I mean,
if he can
building them right
put
now.
a bunch of stuff on Mars within 5 years, I think he can figure something like this.
He wants the satellites. No, he's going to build new satellites out there.
Yeah, but again, they're building them now. I mean, we're in the race right now. We can't be talking 20 years from now. But again, somebody has to buy the land. And if you go buy somebody's land, property somewhere, somebody owns it, the state or somebody owns it. And
you can't take everybody else's water.
I know, but again, so in other words, they have to go to somebody and say, I want to buy your land, and the zoning would have to be appropriate for them to buy the land to put those plants on it. So clearly there has to be some zoning commission or mayor's commission or somebody to vote on whether you can do that to the land if it's available to be sold.
There's a huge argument right now about turning small towns into tourist traps, what
like
Ellijay has become, what Jasper has become here. No, we're talking about here.
Yeah, well,
and we're talking about, and I see the pressure on the local county boards and the city boards and the councilmen when something like Publix wants to build something.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing, and they usually get what they want. The Walmarts that come in, the places like that, they get what they want. I can just imagine with one of these huge companies come in with a new cloud situation and how they could be fought.
Well, look what's happened to Alpharetta and Roswell, for crying out loud.
Right.
I mean, when I came here in '72, and Alpharetta was farmland.
Yeah, it was horses.
Sandy Springs was a straight shot down to Alpharetta, the main street.
I mean, hell, remember when my parents moved here, and we lived at where Holcomb Bridge and Spalding is.
Yeah.
That was a 4-way stop sign.
Yeah, there you go. Holcomb Bridge is a nightmare.
I mean, in '96, 400 hadn't even been built out
and
north.
Spalding Drive, that's east of where off of Barnwell. I used to live there in Alpharetta. I mean, it's just amazing.
I think it's Roswell and Alpharetta have done a better job of reshaping their communities and making it more of a community. Where I think Sandy Springs got behind the ball and
that's so. I don't know what's left to do anything other than all the commercial strip malls and I don't know. I mean,
the downtown area of Sandy Springs is not. I mean, they got that cultural center, which is nice, but
I don't. Just because of the traffic, I avoid places like that. Plus, what would I be doing? I have no reason to go in there. But I can imagine if that's part of your daily thing, it's got to be. Well, anyway, we see what's going on. We see that happening. Wow. All right. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? We'll talk more a little bit later on through the day about the Fauci hearing today. Again, he refused. He took the Fifth Amendment 111 times, and I predicted. Well, not that I know everything more than somebody else, but as predicted by me and many others, I assumed he would take the Fifth Amendment, and then I said the only way they can get him then is for refusing to cooperate to Congress because he's got a pardon. He got pardoned for anything he did while he was in government service. And if they're going to ask about things he did in government service, then he can't be convicted for anything. He can't be charged for anything. So therefore, he has no reason not to tell the truth. And if he refused to talk, he's in contempt of Congress, which he is. And so that's why they're going to have a meeting next week. And the committee, the Senate committee, is going to vote on holding him in contempt of Congress. And obviously, they should vote yes. And then I don't know what that means. He's not going to go to jail for that. But still, it's a thing. But again, the embarrassment of the things they talked about, what happened, the key highlights of the stuff he oversaw, it was just astounding and disgusting. In fact, we're going to play some more of those sound bites coming back. We got a little break coming up here.
You know what's weird?
Yeah.
I told you I was watching that Nuremberg Nuremberg
I want to see
trials.
that. I want to see that.
And they were showing the most horrific films, the 6 million Jews killed in the concentration camps, stuff like that. Yeah. And still, the politicians on one side, the Nazis, still defended it. Goering said, I didn't know anything about it. Would you still support Hitler knowing about it? Yes. It just reminds me what the Democrats are doing now. Yeah. It doesn't matter how bad Fauci did things, they're going to still defend it.
Yeah, they love him. They praise him. They say he's being screwed. It's not fair. He's a hero. He saved millions of lives. And they know that's not true.
They know it's not true. They know it.
They know it now because they know the facts after all that happened. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, Flounder, I'm going to be late. I keep forgetting to mention this. I saw the other night Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and again, because he has such a horrible voice, because he has that medical, physical thing, he can't talk. So it's hard to listen to him, and I don't repeat him a lot because he's hard to listen to. And I think he's probably turns off people. But Robert F. Kennedy actually divulged the fact that even in his own diary, Fauci admitted that when he took remember, he made a big deal. He was at the podium. He did a news conference getting the shot. Fauci did a live news conference getting the shot to show how everybody should get the shot just like him. What nobody knew, and what Robert F. Kennedy announced the other night on TV, was that Fauci got a blood clot a few months later. He got that cardiac infarction, or whatever they call it. It's a freaking blood clot in his lungs. And he got one. And guess what? One of the side effects of danger from COVID vaccine stuff is a cardiac infarction. And Fauci got it. But nobody knew that. He had secret doctors, the best in America, treating him privately and secretly, and nobody knew. The guy in charge of the program got one of the things that they were giving to people who didn't deserve to have that infarction business, and Fauci got it, and it was a secret until Bobby Kennedy Jr. released it, and nobody's followed up on it. I think that's a scandal in itself. Hiding information like that about his leadership. Anyway, here we go. Kim, repeat, and Flounder, hump day. I got to stop screaming, man. All right, I call drinking. Oh, sorry.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
Georgia is growing. That means more jobs and more economic opportunity. As we enhance electric grid to power this growth, we're working to minimize disruptions in your community. Our crews always put safety first. Please watch for them working alongside the road and move over if you're driving. We will make every effort to choose the least disruptive route for new power lines while balancing community and environmental impact, costs, and reliability. Watch your mailbox for letters or postcards from Georgia Power. We're proud to be here for Georgia and here for you.
Sponsored by Georgia Power.
It's Toyota's Big One sales event at Marietta Toyota now through August 3rd. And if you commute every day, the 2026 Toyota Camry may be the one to see first. It's now all hybrid with up to 53 miles per gallon city, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And with 50 Camrys in stock, Marietta Toyota has the selection to help you find the trim and color you actually want. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. And we've been voted Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Camry Hybrid, as low as 4.99% APR for 48 months through August 3rd. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota, since 1975. We've been here and will be here for you.
4.99% APR for 48 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/3/2026. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title, and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
Tug and Lowe start your day the right way on the Morning Extra.
How are you pleading the fifth?
Oh, yeah, because we don't know what you're pleading the fifth to. Right?
What is the part to plead to?
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was actually trying to say. Like, you don't even have something that you need to plead the fifth to because there's no crime.
I gave the example earlier. If Tug Cowart had run, let's say, a Ponzi scheme and was federally prosecuted, if he went in front of any sort of congressional hearing and was asked about that Ponzi scheme, he cannot plead the fifth. If he received a presidential pardon for it, he has to be forthcoming with the information that pardon applied to. So he is actually in a situation where he's pleading the fifth. So it causes a conundrum of like, what was your pardon for?
Yeah, what are you pleading the fifth for if there's no crime?
If there's no crime, if your pardon is so large that you would be compelled to talk about whatever they're asking, but you are basically acting like your pardon doesn't apply to any of it because you're pleading the fifth.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Lonesome schoolboy. And I just come into town.
Look out now. This is a funny little story here about the Rolling Stones. Yeah. 1970. Yeah. 1970. The Rolling Stones' contract with Decca Records expired, and the Stones took the opportunity to split with notorious manager Alan Klein. They had to deliver one more song to the label to fulfill the obligation, so they released... Well, I can't say the name of this song. Blank Blanker Blues, which they later changed to Schoolboy Blues.
Sucker.
That's right. Schoolboy Blues Suckers. Because the track was too vulgar for commercial sale, Decca refused to put it out. And that freed the band from their final obligation. What a way to get out of a contract. It's okay, we'll give you a song, Blankety Blank Blues. Oh, my God. The Stones started forming their own label, the Rolling Stones Records, which features the tongue and lips logo, and that's where it came from as they got out of the other contract in 1970. Rolling Stones. Holy smokes. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Let's do a little birthday list here for you. How about, for you old-timers like me, and the rest of you, you'll have to get, I got a little quick story here, too. Robert Fuller's birthday. Robert Fuller is 93. If you're an old-timer, Robert Fuller, you may remember as the star of the TV series Laramie. It was one of those cowboy guys in a suede jacket, kind of, He was also in Laramie, but he was also in Emergency with Randolph Mantooth. And Robert Fuller is 93, was in Emergency also. And also in the TV show Emergency was an actress you may know, or may not, if not old enough, Julie London. Julie London was very famous as a kind of a real, like, what they call the really sexy and soft,
torch singer.
Torch singer. And this is a true story. In my house, Julie London used to do cigarette commercials for, I think... I can't remember Marlboro Society. She used to do cigarette commercials, and she would be in a car and offer a cigarette to the guy driving the car. So Julie London doing cigarette commercials, and whenever there was a Julie London commercial on TV, my mother had to call my father and say, "Hey, Julie London's on TV," because he used to love to watch her do those stupid commercials. And my mother would have to call him to get to the TV screen. I don't know why that's the damnedest memory I have of those two people. This is back in 1952 or something. Anyway, a phone call. Take a priority. Hey, it's Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Right,
Who's
we
this?
got Bubba Truck on the horn, who's got some insight on data centers.
Excellent. Bubba Truck, is that correct?
That's his secret code name.
Excellent, Bubba Truck. All right. Between you and me. What you got for you? I'm interested to hear about you. Yes, sir.
Hey, guys. So, yeah, I got NDAs surrounding me. I got to be careful what I say. Okay. So 20 years ago, server farms were the big thing. It's same thing as a data center, just bigger servers inside, right?
Yeah.
So we built several server farms, but what happens? All the big companies just have a separate company build the building, spec it out to have all the electronics put inside. So basically, we build a shell, and then lease it back to the big company. The real people that are going to do that. But we did these in the desert, out in Arizona, and obviously you got heat problems with these things. We built them with enough convective circulation going through them, so when the heat would rise, it pulled fresh air in from the outside. So we didn't have to use a whole lot of water for cooling or anything like that. So A lot of ways to work around.
How could hot air in Arizona? How could the hot air in Arizona cool the heat things? Do I misunderstand this or what?
No. During the evening when it cools down, you open up vents towards the top of the building, and that starts pulling the cool air in from down low, and then you let it circulate like that during the evening hours, then shut it down and use electric fans during the day to move the air around.
Yeah. And by the way, I went to Arizona State for my undergraduate degree and lived there, and it gets cold at night. I mean,
it does.
it definitely cools down at night. Well, I hadn't thought of that. And now, what do you help me out to understand? Why is this? Is this a thing, or is this going to be a problem, or what do you see as if you're an insider on this? Help me understand what the issues are and whether it's legit or people are just scared because it's something new. I don't know.
Well, it's the old tech. The problem is all the people like me. I'm in my 70s. I'm not too far behind you, Kimmer. So,
you'll never catch me.
And I know. I'm trying, man. But the generation that built all this stuff. Yeah. We're all retiring. Yeah. And I still work because I just like to work. Yeah. So in fact, I own my own Peterbilt, and I drive.
Oh, my God, I love it. Peterbilt 2 times in this show alone talking about Peterbilt. Oh, my God, I'm in heaven.
so all that brain trust that ran around out there, they've all gone away. Yeah. So you're trying to train the new people to come in, and everybody's trying to figure out how to do this. The other thing, solving the power problem, one way we were looking at solving the power problems, my brother-in-law owned a company that built turbine engines to turn generators that burn natural gas.
Oh, okay.
So you could put those things right on site, plenty of natural gas, you plumb into it, and then you just put sound barriers around it, and there's hardly any noise at all involved in those things.
Huh. Now, do we have enough natural gas to service a big need available?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're burning that stuff off out at the oilhead right now because we can't use it all.
Yeah. Can these be put out? Can these be things? These buildings and these AI centers or whatever, the data centers. Can they all be built out in the middle of nowhere and then still get the energy back to where it's supposed to go, or is the location an issue?
Yeah. The limiting factor is you got to have fiber optic coming out to it.
Yeah.
So out in the East Valley, because when you're going to ASU. Chandler out all in that area.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
all along the new freeways that went out there. Governor Brewer had fiber optic laid in out there. So data centers, they just popped up all over the place out there. Chandler and all those areas. Yeah. So your first limiting factor is just getting something to move the data. Yeah. So just put fiber optic in, and the rest fills in behind it.
Wow.
It's really not.
Wow, what a time, huh? Listen, thanks so much. Really enjoyed talking to you. Have fun in that damn Peterbilt, man. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We got another thing.
Yeah, we got Shay here.
Shay and Sean and Shay. Hey, Shay, what's going on, man?
Hey, not much. Sorry, I'm a few minutes behind on listening on YouTube, so I hope it hasn't been covered already. But the data center, so Pete, you said Nevada. The big pull for the data center has to be near water. It takes millions of gallons of water to run a data center to cool all of the processors. And so they use millions of gallons of water. It has to be near a water source. And the one that's coming out against it the most right now is, if you remember the Hinckley problem and the movie Erin Brockovich and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Erin Brockovich is now making her routes again through all the major podcasts. Theo's had her on. I think Sean Ryan had her on, and they're talking about all this exact thing where she's back in the legislative type of or judicial type of role in starting to fight against them and helping the communities fight. And she was explaining how it's mainly the water that everybody's worried about. It takes so much water to make those things happen.
Wow. Now, as the water goes through the thing, is the water destroyed, or can they recycle the water that goes through to cool, or is the water evaporated and gone?
Yeah, so that was the big question that was asked, because I was thinking the same thing. Apparently, there is something that the water contains after it goes through some of these cycles and some of these machines. So it does have to go through, I guess, either another treatment cycle or...
if they could save it, I mean, then what's the problem if they could save it and reuse it again like they do for sanitation for sewage stuff water? Anyway.
Exactly. At least, just reuse the same amount of water and always have a reservoir.
Yeah.
But that's one of the major discussions. But that's why they can't just put it out in the desert, because otherwise, Pete, your idea would have been awesome. Yeah, you put it in the desert. So,
hey,
anyway.
Shane, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. So really informative and fun to listen to you guys. Thanks, boy. Almost 5 o'clock. Kimber Fiend Flounder, 106.3. Look up.
Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
It's our turn. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That warning from President Trump, who says Iran knows it's coming after missiles were fired at U.S. forces in Jordan overnight. All of them intercepted. This followed a pause in U.S. strikes on Iran for several days, allowing time for talks.
And we'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point, but we're going to hit them very hard.
This after the U.S. and Saudi Arabia targeted Iran-backed militias in Iraq over drones fired towards Saudi oil facilities.
But so far, U.S. officials are not saying if another drone attack today in Egypt on a U.S.-owned LNG tanker is Iran-related or indicates that the war is expanding. The president said he's been briefed, and it's a little more of the same, and it's going to be straightened out before revisiting his plans to hit Iran.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The president also telling reporters it would be surprising if China was sending rocket launchers to Iran after reassurances from China's president about not helping Iran.
He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake. And he knows I'd be quite disappointed. Yeah, and he's coming here, I think, on September 24th.
There's a report the rocket launchers are going from China to Iran through Pakistan, which has been one of the mediators in talks between the U.S. and Iran. A man already convicted on state charges in an attack on author Salman Rushdie has just been convicted again in a federal terrorism case. A federal jury in New York State finding Hadi Matar guilty on all counts. Rushdie was stabbed on stage during an event in 2022, slashed 15 times and gravely wounded. He lost sight in his right eye. Matar did not testify. Reassurance from Fed Chair Kevin Warsh as the central bank leaves interest rates alone again, despite persistent inflation above their 2% target.
This Fed will not waver. Our credibility rests on performing our duties and delivering on our responsibilities.
America is listening to Fox News.
When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. A, that it works, and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our audience do that. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I want you to hear a few of their stories. Joni shared that before Relief Factor, her husband couldn't open his hands in the morning and had to give up playing the guitar. Now he wakes up with flexibility, and he's back to playing music. They are both recommending Relief Factor to friends as a way to enjoy the things they love again. I get what Joni's husband went through. I couldn't paint. I couldn't button my own shirts in the morning. The pain made it so difficult to hold a paintbrush or button my shirts. It was horrible. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank, ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Oh, look out. It's only me. It's only the Trevor. How's it going? With Pete Davis and Flounder and you on 106.3. Happy Hump Day. Number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And Holy Crapper Sports is coming up now. We had a doubleheader today because it was rained out last night in New York City. Pete Davis, you want to give a quick update on Game 1 since it's been over for a while, I guess, probably.
They lost.
Oh, God. Anyway. Any spectacular highlights to point to coming up here shortly, or anything?
One home run. A.J. Smith-Shawver did okay. Other than that, no.
Okie dokie. That's coming. Holy Crapper Sports coming. We have Pete's. We have some tweets here. We have a special. Also have. Also, in fact, I wanted you to tell me about the Buc-ee's thing. We got that, and also. Pete's got something about these market bets, or what do you call them? The
prediction market.
Prediction market, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too, and more, and a lot more on the Fauci hearing and so forth, and Donald Trump about the Iranian thing, and we got a whole bunch of stuff here coming up with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. And again, just very quickly, I won't dawdle on it too much because I mentioned it at the beginning of the program about this kid, 16-year-old Ryder Williams, the lifeguard, who was going to be saluted and given an award by Donald Trump. He's going to have the whole family flown up to Washington, and Donald Trump's he said he's going to give him a high civilian honor for his bravery. This kid's 16 years old. If you haven't seen the video, please Google it. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Ryder Williams, 16-year-old kid, California, in Santa Cruz Beach, and all of a sudden a 10-year-old boy went under the surf. The surf was like a hurricane surf. I mean, it was just pounding, rolling, giant pounding surf. So the 16-year-old rescuer, he's a lifeguard, and he had this little lifeguard attached floaty thing they bring with them when they go into the surf and so forth. And he went in to get this kid, grab this kid, and they both disappeared. They were pounded over and over. He's got to take a breath or upset, and the kid's kind of limp, and he's got him in his arms, and all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. The surf just covered all of them. I'm thinking, oh, my God, they're being banged on the bottom of the freaking ocean. And other people jumped in and trying to help them. I mean, it was unbelievable. You could say that's how you die. I mean, that's it. That's how you die. That kid would have died. If there had been nobody around, he'd be dead. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this, and when he got home, he said to his father, he said, Dad, he said, I just wasn't going to let go of that kid because I knew if I let go, he'd drown. And I just wasn't going to let it happen. His grandfather's a retired firefighter. I was close to that one. And the kid, and by the way, the kid, not only on that, at that point, he also made 2 rescues right afterwards on the same day, and a total of 5 rescues during his Saturday lifeguard shift. And the grandfather says, I just keep seeing him as a little boy, and he's out there battling that. I mean, it was unbelievable, really unbelievable. He's going to be a junior in high school. When he goes back to school this fall, he's going to be a junior. And, I mean, it's just spectacular. He's going to get a little recognition for it, and as he should. I mean, really, the video is just really astounding. Now, a couple things. Fauci took the oath of the Fifth Amendment as predicted 111 times today. In fact, Josh Hawley had some fun trying to get him to answer what color is your tie, what color is the carpet, and every time Fauci had to go through the spiel of resting on the Fifth Amendment. And now, before we forget, among other things about what happened in this country during the COVID China kill virus disaster, was that anybody who tried to say, now, wait a minute, this isn't right. This doesn't make any sense. It's not right. Any of those people who tried to say that and do that got creamed, got ridiculed. And in fact, I believe it was Josh Hawley. Let me try to find my notes here. I can't find my notes here, but I believe it was Josh Hawley who said to all you people who have been you've been doxxed, or they criticized you, or if you thought it was Bernie Moreno who said, Fauci was listening, if during the pandemic you were called a racist for calling the virus a Wuhan virus or a China virus, if you thought the 6-foot rule was crap, if you thought the vaccine wasn't something you should should take, if you thought it was outrageous the way mass policy was rolled out, if you were fired from your job for not taking the vaccine, including members of the military, if you thought closing schools was catastrophically stupid, saying these things made you somehow a lesser human being, stand up. And the whole audience stood up. And he said, now, Dr. Fauci, turn around and look at these people. And Fauci, of course, wouldn't do it. Now, before we forget, Flounder found this soundbite, a montage of the cut number 7, I guess it would be Flounder. Is he in there? I don't know if he's, yeah, there you go. The last cut you found of the media people. Remember when you were being criticized for if you didn't want to get the virus shot or if you were complaining about it? Here's what the media said about you, Flounder, if you will.
You've been patient. But our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
People who are incubators for every variant to come, walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic.
For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death. For yourselves, your families, and the hospitals you may soon overwhelm.
About this, in a world of threats and tyrants and terror, you know what our biggest enemy is in America? Our fellow Americans.
They are the ones that are propagating this outbreak.
Being frustrated that there is still a percentage of the population who are not vaccinated.
I wish that he would go further to restrict the activities of the unvaccinated.
Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
That 25% can cause a lot of damage, and they are.
If you're willing to walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy.
I mean, seriously.
They need to be all forced to apologize, to come forward. Everyone has to be put on national television and say, what do you say now to these people that you wanted to lock up and imprison and worse?
Yeah. Yeah. And are you willing now even to admit in any way that even if you could say, well, the information I had was wrong, would you even be willing to say, you know, it wasn't my fault, but what I heard, what I was told and what I thought, that's why I had that opinion, and now I can see where that was probably an incorrect opinion. They won't even do that.
Yeah.
Blame somebody else. They can't even blame somebody else and not take the rap for it and admit it.
I sucked down big farmers and government's line, hook, line, and sinker, and I threatened other people with it. And you wonder, everyone looks back what happened in the 1930s and go, well, how could that happen here? Well, that's how it happens when you get the government telling you got to do something, and half the country goes, yeah, you should do it because the government says so.
Yeah. Flounder, let's play cut number 3 here. This Bernie Moreno again. Moreno, he's a Republican from Ohio, senator, and he told about children being arrested for not wearing masks at games and football stuff. Cut number 3, Moreno on Fauci's activities here, Flounder.
It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the f*** do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed through your actions? Will you say, do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
111 times. And he has a pardon for activities that he did under those conditions. Just cowardice, just because he knew he was going to get caught, and he was too much. I mean, you know, and again, the Democrats are still loving him. I mean, it's just unconscionable. How could anybody who maybe lost family members? What, Democrats never lost anybody? Democrats never had any bad problems happen from the COVID development stuff they did? What, nobody ever suffered any? Is your Democrat ever from the COVID stuff?
How about Kimmel saying you should die?
Yeah.
If you didn't get the shot, you should die. They shouldn't treat you.
Unbelievable. All right, holy crap sports coming up. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and more Braves game again tonight. But a doubleheader. I'll go.
The world's watching to see if America still leads. And Extra 106.3 is always watching out for your values, your community, and your voice. Strength on the world stage starts with an honest conversation at home. And we're proud to have it every single day. Listen live or stream us anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Summer's winding down, but that doesn't mean the fun stops at Truist Park. Come see your Atlanta Braves July 30th through August 2nd as the Nationals come to town. Fans are invited to celebrate legend Andrew Jones on his induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame on the 30th with his bobblehead giveaway presented by Curacao. Feel it for yourself. Plus an on-field presentation honoring his iconic career. Fans can then relive the magic of '96 as we celebrate 30 years since Atlanta lit the Olympic flame on the 31st. Join us for a night of music, memories, and hometown pride, followed by Friday night fireworks presented by Georgia Lottery after the game. The weekend fun continues on Saturday, August 1st with the pregame block party in the Battery Atlanta and the Braves Country's Got Talent search at the Georgia Power Pavilion. The National Series wraps up on Sunday as the first 3,000 kids will receive the Ice Cream Shorts giveaway. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out all the fun and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
This is in the year 2000. Brad Pitt married Jennifer Aniston. It lasted 5 years, then she had a baby the next year, baby Shiloh. And on this day in 2006, same day, Pamela Anderson married Kid Rock. It lasted 4 months. And now, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis. 4
Braves
months.
lose game 1 of today's doubleheader up in Flushing, 3-2 to the Mets. A.J. Smith-Shawver made his first start of the season, going 4 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs. The Mets jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Matt Olson tied the game with a 2-run homer in the top of inning number 6. The Metropolitans got a run in the 7th off loser Dylan Dodd, who falls to 2-1. Austin Riley struck out to end the game. Game 2 tonight, the 11-6 Chris Sale at his 2.19 earned run average against Mets right-hander Christian Scott. He's 3-2 with an ERA of 3.13. Drake Baldwin will be catching and leading off. Ronald Acuna Jr., the designated hitter, and batting second. Riley in the 8th spot. Jim Jarvis at short and batting 9th. The Braves have a 6-game lead over Philly because they blew a 6-0 lead today and lost to the Marlins and got swept in Miami.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. The Mets are now 16.5 behind Atlanta.
Wow.
Toronto starter Shane Bieber walked 6 Nationals batters in the first inning last night. This led to a 4-run first inning and an 8-6 win over the Blue Jays. The 31-year-old former Cy Young Award winner issued walks to 6 of the 9 batters he faced, including 3 with the bases loaded.
Oh, boy.
Bieber, only the 4th pitcher in the divisional era since 1969 to issue 6 walks in the first inning of a game, joining Todd Van Poppel in 1994, Ryan Dempster in 2001, and Daniel Cabrera in 2006. Why do you remember the name Todd Van Poppel?
Well, because Van Poppel is a fairly interesting name. I don't remember why.
He was once considered the top pick in the baseball draft.
Oh, I remember
told Bobby
that.
Cox he did not want to be chosen by the Braves, so Bobby came home and drafted some kid named Larry Jones instead.
I remember that now by that special name. You've talked about that before, years past. I remember. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Larry turned out to be okay, I think.
Yeah, Larry did. Larry. Speaking of the Mets, Larry.
This next story reminds me of Ron Gant, the former Braves player and current Fox 5 morning show host. Giant center fielder Harrison Bader's months-long wait on the sideline will be extended after he was involved in a scooter crash over the weekend.
Yeah.
This is how stupid this guy is. He's been out of the lineup since May, has left plantar fasciitis, and the team said yesterday the foot was further damaged in a crash that occurred Saturday night. The 32-year-old Bader was scheduled for an MRI in San Francisco. This isn't the first time Einstein has done something stupid on a scooter. In 2014, he was suspended 19 games by the Florida Gators after he was involved in a scooter crash in which alcohol was supposedly a factor. After signing a 2-year, $21 million free agent deal, Bader has hit 170 with 5 homers and 14 RBIs in just 30 games this season, missing a lot of time with a left hamstring strain that he suffered in spring training. Ron Gant derailed a promising baseball career with the Braves by crashing on a dirt bike and breaking his leg.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a major league ball player. Can you not wait till after you retire to get on a stupid bike?
Well, now, when they say scooter, is it actually a little scooter like those Vespas? Or do they, I mean, it's like those things are very. They have little teeny wheels. They're teeny brakes. They're very dangerous. You can only ride them around your neighborhood. You can't ride them. You can't go places with them.
He should. It's probably not even in the contract to write stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Falcons began their training camp in Flowery Branch Day to great excitement and anticipation for a brand spanking new season. And one of the quarterbacks is already injured.
Oh, well, here we go.
Tua Tagovailoa sidelined with what the team considers a flare-up of an undisclosed injury. ESPN's Adam Schefter says the veteran quarterback is dealing with a tight back. With Tagovailoa and Michael Penix Jr. both out, Falcons are signing Cooper Rush to strengthen their suddenly injury-ravaged quarterback room. Suddenly, Atlanta released veteran QB Trevor Siemian with a non-football injury designation. They leave undrafted rookie free agent Jack Strand as the only Falcons quarterback fully cleared for practice. Tua's back injury not considered serious, expected to return next week. Penix still recovering from right ACL surgery in November. Practiced in the spring, did individual drills with 7-on-7 work, but has yet to be cleared for 11-on-11 team sessions. First-year head coach Kevin Stefanski not sure when Penix might be ready. Penix says it could take a month for him to be cleared for a full practice. The Falcons had expected Siemian to be the third-string QB this season, but now Strand, out of Division II Minnesota State Moorhead, is the Falcons' only healthy quarterback on day one of training camp. Stefanski joked that former Falcon star quarterback Matt Ryan, now the team's president of football, will not be getting any reps under center despite the shortage.
Suit him up.
Now, Cooper Rush is 32 years old, spent his first 8 seasons with the Cowboys before appearing in 4 games last season with the Ravens. And star running back Bijan Robinson not working out today either. Of course, I think it's more of a contract thing. He just doesn't want to get hurt, blah, blah, blah. Still, some more Falcons roster moves here. They placed offensive tackle Juwan Taylor, defensive back Billy Bowman Jr., offensive linebacker D'Angelo Malone, and inside linebacker Troy Anderson on the active, physically unable to perform PUP list. They placed DL Zach Harrison and rookie DL Antario Thompson on the active non-football injury list. In case you don't know what that means, the PUP count against the 90-man roster limit the players do. These players can participate in all team activities except practice. They can be activated at any point during camp once they are medically cleared. A player on the active PUP list can be moved to the reserve PUP list during roster cutdowns at the end of August. If placed on the reserve PUP list, that player does not count towards the active 53-man roster limit, but must miss at least 4 games, unless, of course, this is all happening on a Wednesday, in which case it's all backwards.
It's all, you have to...
For those of you keeping score at home.
It's not good.
But don't worry, Falcons fans. When we have AI robots instead of human players, we'll see a lot less use of this PUP list.
Jeez, what's going on?
And it's coming. ESPN NFL analyst Dan Graziano predicting who the Falcons starting quarterback in Game 1 will be. And must have a crystal ball. Dan says it will be Tua. Given the extensive injury history that Penix carried with him into the league from college, it makes sense for the Falcons to be cautious with his recovery. He's going to be playing catch-up with Tua, who's a more accurate thrower than Penix. Tua should be able to run the Stefanski offense well enough in practice to convince the coaches that he gives them the best chance to win at the start of the season. If that's the way it plays out, Penix could certainly still get into the mix and start some games at some point in the season, but Tua and or the team would have to struggle for Atlanta to make a change. That's what Dan Graziano, whatever I called him, predicts on ESPN.
You know,
by the way,
have we gone through this stuff before with this team? I mean,
it's the same thing. It's just different year. You know, it's the Falcons. That the most embarrassing thing to happen to Atlanta since Sherman. And
you were going to ask me. I'm sorry, I've interrupted.
No, I was going to tell you that, and I'm saying this to everybody out there. You have my personal permission.
Yes.
To slap anybody who uses the term dirty birds.
Okay,
that was the 1990s, 2000 Jamal Anderson team. That is not now. Everybody has to stop saying it. It's the same permission you have to strike anybody who says Hotlanta.
Is that coming back again? Have you heard that?
Oh, gosh, it's never went away. It's never gone away. And it's usually national broadcasters who say it thinking they're cute. Well, and they said it during the World Cup. They called us Hotlanta. And you just wanted to find them.
Now that I haven't heard in 20 years. And the dirty, they had the whole dance thing. I mean, that was a whole different thing back. That was the thing then. That was, it's like the terrible towels for somebody. I don't know.
How do you tell people you don't know nothing about Atlanta when you don't want to say you know nothing about Atlanta? Well, you say Hotlanta or Dirty Birds.
Yeah, I guess.
49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan wants to make clear he was at fault for the car crash that left him with the serious injuries 2 weeks ago. Speaking publicly for the first time, Shanahan spent about 30 minutes with a handful of reporters, addressed the collision report, says erroneously assigned blame to a 21-year-old woman. I hit her, Shanahan said. I don't know why it was reported that way on the report. The police report doesn't say that. Shanahan gave his full version of the events that led up to and through the collision between his Tesla Model S and the other driver's SUV, crash that left him with a concussion, a broken left hand, a broken nose, 3 broken ribs, 40 stitches above his right eye. He nearly lost that eye.
Wow.
Said he was going just 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I was not on my phone. I had dropped my phone. It was stuck in my seats. It was on my lap, and it slid off. I went to look down for it, took my eyes off the road for 2 seconds, and as I was coming up, the airbags hit me in the face and broke my nose. And then they said the visor gashed me. I took my eyes off the road looking for my phone, and my car veered into somebody. It's one of those roads where there's no forgiveness. When I hit her, the impact was just so. I'll just never forget how violent it was. He said he was returning home in Los Altos from a chiropractor appointment, but he has to go to another one. It happened in Palo Alto. Officers on the scene told him he was traveling about 20 miles an hour in the 25-mile-per-hour zone. Did not believe the woman was speeding either. Both drivers were moving with the flow of traffic. Says the concussion has been the hardest part of the recovery. Lieutenant Nicholas Martinez of the Palo Alto Police Department said Shanahan's account was correct. He was found at fault for the collision. Neither party in the situation was provided any preferential treatment. Most of all, the coach said he wanted to make sure that someone else was not getting the blame for something he did. It just crushed me hearing the girl get blamed for it. I'm just lucky that I survived and that she did not get hurt and I didn't lose my eye.
Well, bravo to him for doing that and coming public. Now, the other thing is, did he get a ticket? I mean, if you're...
no.
Well, how could he not get a ticket for reckless behavior looking for a phone while driving?
Well, you know
the guy
what?
who hit me, the guy who rear-ended me got a ticket. The guy who hit me in the rear end got a ticket.
He'd probably get... Now, no preferential treatment. Why didn't we hear about it for 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
Well, anyway, but still, he did the right thing when the story came out.
Yes, he did.
So that's good.
Meanwhile, former San Francisco and currently unemployed receiver Brandon Ayuk went on his Instagram account yesterday afternoon and made a not-so-subtle reference to Shanahan and the head-on collision, posting, quote, "You can't win the race if you crash out. Keep your head up and stay in your own lane. You gonna win," end quote. And by the way, that wasn't me doing his accent. That's how he wrote
apostrophe.
Yeah, I'm reading how he wrote it. You gonna win.
That's right, gone. Yeah, there you go, G-O-N.
CBS football analyst Tony Romo told Wisconsin police he was on his way over the hill and through the dell on his way to Grandma's house when he was pulled over for an OWI.
Me?
Actually, that's what he did. There is a place called the Wisconsin Dells, northwest of Milwaukee.
Yes, true.
Romo says he was going to visit his mama and papa. The video of his arrest is out. It's not a good look for the former Cowboys QB. Obviously flustered, Tony begs for cops to let him call his lawyer. He then argues with the police before performing poorly on a field sobriety test. Before starting the series of tests back at the police station, Romo stretches and limbers up while citing his 2 back surgeries. Then he yawned. Romo continuously interrupts the female officer as she tries to explain the exercises. The 46-year-old also asked her to repeat things a number of times and give demonstrations for him before then failing to follow her instructions. When Romo is asked whether he's willing to submit to a breath test, he replies, "Oh, no, we're not doing that. I've heard from all the lawyers, don't ever do that."
Oh, I don't know if that's... Well, I guess I have heard...
I've heard that.
They say don't ever take the test. But it's an automatic revocation of your license for a year if you don't take it.
I know. Chiefs coach Andy Reid gave a positive update today on the condition of Mia Bieniemy, the wife of offensive coordinator Eric, allegedly shot multiple times by the couple's son Sunday night at the family's home in Virginia. Reid says she's doing great. The 57-year-old Mia is doing better, and especially from where she was, she's out of the ICU unit and making progress. So that's good news.
He shot her in the chest and then other places too, but my God.
The NCAA has suspended Tennessee linebacker Arian Carter for the first 2 games of the season. He was just this egregious man, accepted a $427 flight from an agent after he declared for the NFL draft. Someone has got to tell the NCAA to go blank themselves and go away. Congress cannot give them any more power.
That's perfectly reasonable. After he'd already had an agent after the fact, and the agent said, "Oh my God."
Carter, a senior from Smyrna, Tennessee, played through a foot injury late in the 25 season. After declaring for the draft, he aggravated the injury, needed surgery, and decided he's going to return to the Volunteers for this upcoming season. Vols coach Josh Heupel said Carter disengaged from his agent and repaid him for the flight.
Oh, my God.
The NCAA originally suspended him for 3 games. The Vols appealed the penalty, and it's been reduced to 2. Carter will miss the Volunteers opener against Furman at home September 5th and a September 12th road game here at Georgia Tech. He will be eligible to return for September 19th game against Kennesaw State. Carter had 76 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 1 fumble recovery last season. Now, good for the Vols. Linebacker, one of their deepest positions, so they're not going to miss him all that much.
That's crazy. That's stupid.
Alabama head coach Nate Oates among the top 5 best paid coaches in college basketball, annual salary of $7 million. He tied the knot over the weekend. Her name is Alex Aceta, and she's 31 years old.
I saw this. Yeah, he's 55.
Nate Oates is 51.
Yeah.
Good for him.
There you go. God bless America.
Aceta, previously a staffer working under Oates, insert your own joke here,
yes, thank you.
at Bama while he was married to his ex-wife.
Oh, God.
Oates was married to his first wife, Crystal, from 1997 until they discreetly divorced in 23. Crystal underwent cancer back in 2015.
Oh, my.
She was diagnosed with an aggressive form of lymphoma, but beat it. Aceta began working as a student assistant in the Crimson Tide's men's basketball office back in 2015, alongside earning her degree in business management. After leaving the student body, insert your second joke here, she became director of basketball operations. Aceta then worked under Oates, insert your own third joke here, until 2022 when she left to join the Dallas Mavericks organization.
Oh, well. So in other words, I could be looking for a hot 60-year-old. It's perfect.
Yeah, you could. Oh, by the way, there's only 4 reasons to ever talk about the WNBA.
All right.
Number 1, there's another racist beatdown to Caitlin Clark. 2, there's another lesbian love triangle story. 3, there's some kind of tranny problem. And 4, when the league finally folds after losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, today we're at number 3. A Seattle Storm player is attacking Indiana star Sophie Cunningham. Stephanie Dolson wore a T-shirt that basically said trans rights are human rights. In a related story, there's a woman named Stephanie Dolson that plays female basketball. And a related story to that, there's a team called the Seattle Storm that plays female basketball.
By the way, the Babylon Bee says the WNBA warned Sophie Cunningham the league will fold if only women are allowed to play. So it makes see what you've done. I love it. Pete Davis. All right, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder Hump Day. We got so much more, and it's coming right up here, including Flounder's Funny and all that good stuff here on 106.3. What do you know?
Fighting the communists with truth every day on the only conservative news and talk station in Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. Like the 2026 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2026 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Drake Baldwin here to talk about my personal Rookie of the Year, Superior Plumbing. They say you can't be Rookie of the Year more than once, but Superior has been proving themselves for over 40 years as the GOAT of plumbing. Whenever I need a leak repaired, toilet replaced, or water heater, I call Superior Plumbing, and you should too. They handle each job with care and honesty. For Superior, there's no job too small.
For Superior, the honest one, call 770-422-PLUM.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories as well. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice, and both times his aches, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted it, he says he felt better again. As Jim puts it, you know something's working when you run out of it. I take Relief Factor every single morning for my back issues. I know exactly what Jim is talking about. Now, they make it easy for you to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helped you tackle your daily aches and pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team, and they will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll soon be sharing your story with us as well. 800-4RELIEF, ReliefFactor.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Housing affordability. Regardless of what the left says, I do think most Americans would like to own their own home, but they're getting expensive. The price is increasing way faster than inflation. And why? Oh, because people in regulatory agencies and government want to feel powerful. So let's have some rules and regulations. It's one big three-syllable word: government.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Here we go.
Flight so swift, rain won't lift, gate won't close, railings froze, get your mind. Winter time, you ain't going nowhere.
Well, this is a bizarre story. Is this the Birds? This is
sure is
really amazing to me, because the Birds, to me, were a whole different sound back in the 60s. But this is on this day in 1968, American singer-songwriter and guitarist Graham Parsons left the Birds, and it was on the eve of their tour of South Africa. And Graham Parsons refused to play to a segregated audience after he talked to Mick Jagger and Keith Richards about the tour. And he told him what was going on. He said, well, I'm opposed to apartheid policies, and I'm not going to go. So he left the birds on this day in 1968. I've never heard. If I've ever heard the song before, I sure don't recognize it as the Birds from back in the 60s. But what did I know? Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Hold everything. Phone calls take priority. Patricia's on the radio. Hey, baby, how's it going?
Good. Just a thought about the data centers.
Yeah.
The Biden administration sold 400,000 acres of our farmland to China.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't suppose that since they own the land free and clear, they may be, the whole thing is AI is between China and the United States.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And I guarantee that's what they're going to do with it. And again, how many acres and acres of land are right near American military installations owned by China? I mean, it's appalling.
Right.
Yeah. It's scary, Patricia.
It's more than coincidental, Kimmer.
Yeah, I know. You're right. You're absolutely right. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is fact. They're here. I mean, it's going on. And they have, and again, there are hundreds of thousands of Chinese students in America, apparently. I don't know. The whole thing is, I think they're smarter than we are about this international long-term planning stuff. So it makes me nervous because I think they're way above our knowledge factor on this stuff. More planning.
Didn't one of the Chinese students bring a pathogen into one of the universities in Michigan?
Yeah, absolutely. They catch spies every once in a while. Well, hell, look at Eric Swalwell had a Chinese spy that he was sleeping with. Bang Bang. Remember that? I mean, they're
Dianne
everywhere.
Feinstein, her driver was a Chinese
spy.
That's
right. That's right. Anyway, Patricia, have a great day, sweetie. Appreciate you calling. And again, it's something we're looking at it, and we're about time we're talking about it. Birthday. How about Josh Radnor? Birthday, 52. He plays Ted on How I Met Your Mother. Josh Radnor, 52, and Ken Burns, the documentary guy, is 73. And I haven't seen his latest one. Was it The Revolution, or what's one they had all the wokeness? Changed was it the last one he did?
Snuck his usual stuff in there. Yeah.
Although I have to say, I've loved a lot of his stuff on the Civil War, and
baseball was good.
Yeah, the baseball stuff was great. So anyway, Ken Burns' birthday today, and let's see, Pete Davis, a quick sports thing here today. Atlanta Olympics on this day. God, it was 1996. Oh my God, it was 30 years ago today. Carl Lewis shocked the world by taking the gold medal in the long jump at the Atlanta Olympics 30 years ago today, when Carl Lewis was 35 years old. It was Carl Lewis's 9th gold, and it made him one of only 2 athletes ever to win the same event at 4 straight Olympic Games. I didn't see this until I should have looked it up. Wasn't it like a shot putter, Otter or somebody who did 4-time champion? I'm trying to remember who else won 4 gold medals, because that's 16 years, and it couldn't have been a sprinter. So I think it was one of those shot putters or something, or a discus thrower.
Al
Horder,
something.
Al Horder, I think, maybe. I'm guessing. Anyway, let's see, and. Another rather large historical event. In fact, the last line of this is pretty funny. I'll see if you react to it the way I did. 1981, Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer were married. The Prince of Wales married her in 1981, St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Media frenzy calling it the wedding of the century. Hundreds of items were created with the pair's smiling faces. 3,500 people attended the wedding in person. 750 million watched on TV. In America, viewing parties were all over the place in the middle of the night. And now, here's what it says now. Sadly, the couple separated in 1992 and later divorced. Charles and Di's son, Prince William, married Kate Middleton, in 2011. His brother Harry married American actress Meghan Markle in 2018. Both couples appear to be living a happier life than their parents. Well, because
one of them.
Yeah, since Prince Charles had her killed, with a yogi there, whatever.
Allegedly.
Well, that was a rumor. That's what I was told. Anyway, all right. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Let's see. Let's do some more of the Fauci. If you missed the hearing, and most people did because it started at 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. I saw a lot of it while I was working at home before I came in. It was astounding how the Democrats just praise this guy, praise him, and praise him, and praise him. And Flounder, let's play cut number 2 when Senator Josh Hawley is trying to question Fauci, and Fauci keeps mentioning the same thing over and over, and Hawley says, you may be misunderstanding here. Cut number 2, Flounder, if you
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people.
I'll tell you, Josh Hawley called him a disgrace. I mean, he really creamed him, as most of them did. And for very good reason. And by the way, and again, we'll play cut number 6 here, Flounder. In fact, Josh Hawley kept trying to tell him, get him to answer questions, and freaking Fauci did the same thing 111 times here. Cut number 6, if you
Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
I plead the 5th.
What color tie are you wearing?
No, but I can tell you that I plead the 50th.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
I plead the 5th. I plead the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dave Chappelle, of course. Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite all-time comedians, and he gets so racist. Remember the blind black guy thought he was white? He was a Ku Klux Klan member. He a bigot black guy, but he's blind, so he didn't know he was black or something. It's just ridiculous stuff. And he had the racial auction of who's going to claim Tiger Woods. The Asians or the black people. Heritage racial anyway. Whatever. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Donald Trump says he's going to blank the blank out of the Iranians, and he's going to get back at them. They did some more shooting overnight, and so I don't know where that stands. But again, I think it's going to have to come to more violence. He's going to have to start blowing up stuff and take Carg Island and blow up Pickaxe Mountain or whatever. I mean, just destroy it. I don't know why they're waiting. And they say, well, theoretically, we don't have a bunker buster bomb big enough to get Pickaxe Island or Carg. Well, we can get Carg Island, but Pickaxe Mountain is apparently so big and so hard to get at that they say we don't have a bomb to get at it. So I don't know about that. But either way, here's a quick thing happening in Iran. In their largest jail in Iran, prisoners are protesting the regime by taking part in a hunger strike. There's horrible footage showing how they're doing it. Prisoners are using needles and thread to stitch each other's lips together so they cannot eat or drink no matter what. They're stitching their lips together. Most of these people are sentenced to death for drug charges, also executions going on because of the protest about what's going on in the regime. And they're saying we're hoping authorities can, rise up and start the international community to hear these people. Authorities can execute these guys at any moment, and we know they're paying with their lives. They hanged 26 recently for the protests and so forth. Wow. All right, hold on. 5:45 already. Holy smokes. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And eBay. Holy moly. Where do you see where eBay had to make up for something that happened really bad? And also a kind of a horrible story about the Appalachia kid thing that I almost ended. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go.
If you listen to Extra, share it with a friend. It's how we grow and how we can reach everyone in the Atlanta community that believes in the American way of life. If you value the station, help us grow by telling someone about the Extra 106.3 app.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
Purple Wave Auction Box.
Hey there, folks. If you're buying or selling equipment, ride the wave.
Ride the wave. Purple Wave Auction makes it easy to sell.
Easy to buy. construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve. All online.
All online.
Cruise on over to purplewave.com and get in the groove today.
Purplewave.com.
This is Tom, the Honest Car Guy, and I'm here with Ron. And I'll let Ron tell you a little bit about his experience with us, and not only that, but the differences between a new car dealership and the Honest Car Guy, because there is a difference, with no doc fees and no addendums. It's kind of straightforward. They get to see what we pay for the car, and that's not something you get at a dealership.
Usually we're back and forth, and then you get like 1,400 pages of paper. And in this case, we did it all online. I mean, it was like, okay, I don't mind doing paperwork once I know that this is the deal.
And you got to see the financing, the numbers up front before you even bought it. You can make that call, and within hours, we can find you the car you want from your home. I mean, I had a customer call me up and say, hey, I bought a car in my pajamas.
If I'd have had some, I'd have been wearing them.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Prices are rising, costs are climbing, and waiting could cost you even more. With silver surging, thousands of Americans have turned to Goldco, the #1 rated precious metals company, to help protect their savings against inflation. For a limited time, when you buy precious metals with cash, you could qualify for up to 10% in free gold or silver, a free home safe, and get your metals stored for free. To learn more, call 855-936-GOLD. That's 855-936-GOLD.
Hey Jude, don't let me down. You have found her, now go and get her.
Go get her, baby.
To let her into your heart.
It's the Beatles.
Then you can start to make it.
Well, this was the day 1968, the first recording session for the 7-minute epic Hey Jude. The Paul McCartney song written about John Lennon's son, Julian. Hey Jude. When released, it became the Beatles' first single on their Apple record label and was a #1 hit in countries around the world, became the year's 1968's top-selling single in Britain and America and Australia and Canada. 1968, Hey Jude. Also, by the way, for the record, it was on this same day in 1966 that Teen Magazine Datebook reprints an early quote from the Beatles' John Lennon saying that we're more popular than Jesus now. The cover of the magazine had it, I don't know what'll go first, rock and roll or Christianity. Prompted Beatles bonfires on this day in 1966 and banned their music by radio stations. Lennon later said, if I had said television was more popular than Jesus, I might have gotten away with it. Christianity will go, he said. It will vanish and shrink. I needn't argue about that. I'm right and I'll be proved right. We're more popular than Jesus now. I don't know which will go first, rock and roll or Christianity. Jesus was all right, but his disciples were thick and ordinary. It's them twisting it that ruins it for me. An apology by Lennon eased some tensions later, stopped a wave of Beatle record burnings during their last U.S. tour. And by the way, Mark David Chapman would cite that quote, the song Imagine, as the reason that he killed Lennon. On the cover was a quote from Paul McCartney about America. It's a lousy country where anyone black is a dirty... Oh, my God. Anyway, I wish I hadn't read that. Sorry. And now...
Smart-ass little kid.
Well, yeah, that's right. That was in 1966. It's 60 freaking years ago. Anyway, see a couple of birthdays here. Allison Mack is 44. She played Chloe in Smallville. Rodney Allen Rippey, that little cute kid from the Jack in the Box commercials in the 70s. Rodney Allen Rippey is 58. And if you knew Baywatch, Stephanie Holden on Baywatch is actually Alexandra Paul. She's 63 today, for the record. That's plenty. Here we go. Now, this is a really bizarre story, but you probably ought to know about it. And I feel bad about it just because of the whole situation. The Appalachia High School shooter and his mom caught on a jailhouse phone call. Cold Gray heard chatting and laughing with his mother about his fandom. He pleaded guilty to gunning down the teachers and the students, so forth. Life sentence without parole. Prosecutors played recordings of phone conversations. During one call, he directed his mother to search what people were saying about him. He said, heck yes, because she said, the mother, heck yes, because then I can show you all the pictures. Oh, my God, I've got so many new pictures that I've got to show you. He was excited when she described fan art drawings. God. He rejected his mother's offer to bring him some physical copies of the photographs. She said she's making her own. I'm going to print some of them just for myself, said Mom. Where she also added a photograph of her kid Colt, altered to look like a fox. It's now her phone lock screen.
She's a monster.
Colt says, have you made a shrine yet of me? Have you made the shrine? She laughs and then says she has not, but she's been printing out photos of him, and her printer isn't working, but she'll eventually make my Colty shrine, unquote. Marcy Gray was then barred from speaking with her son by a no-contact order.
Monster.
Yeah. And ironically, you say that, in September 2024, she wrote a groveling letter apologizing to the victim's family, saying her son is not a monster.
Well, we know where the apple didn't fall far from the tree, did it?
And again, I'm trying to, when I read that story this morning, it was 5:30 in the morning, and I'm looking at the story, and I said to myself, I can only imagine, well, if I were a parent, and my 16-year-old, well, he was 14. He was 14 years old at the time when he did it. 14, mass murder. If my 14-year-old had done that and been, I can't imagine. Before he gets a sentence of life, he's never getting out of prison. He's 16. Good. He'll never get out of prison. So I'm thinking as a parent, how the hell, what would I do? What would I be? Would I try to, make the best? I thought, oh, my God, what a nightmare.
Well, you know what you wouldn't do? What she's doing.
I wouldn't do that. I'm thinking, I was trying to figure out some way that this made sense, or it's just so evil.
Kind of makes it understandable why he turned out the way he did, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. Now, check this out. A couple named David and Ina Steiner have sued eBay for a whole bunch of money. It lasted about 5 years, 2021 lawsuit. They said their company was engaged in a conspiracy by eBay to intimidate, threaten to kill, torture, terrorize, stalk, and silence them to stifle their reporting on eBay. They have an e-commerce industry newsletter, and they were subjected to cyber stalking, death threats, and in-person surveillance by former eBay workers because of what they were saying. So they sued, and the judge eventually restored the case, and now they've made a settlement of $50 million. Here's why. The campaign against this couple began with threatening direct messages on social media, anonymous deliveries of live cockroaches, spiders, a funeral wreath, a bloody pig mask, and a book about surviving the death of a spouse. The employees also sent pornographic magazines with Steiner's name on it to the neighbors and planned to install a GPS device on their car. And when they finally found out what the hell was going on, they said, you got to be kidding. Even eBay said, oh, my God, this is so wrong. We are so sorry. This should never have happened. Federal prosecutors charged 7 eBay employees carrying out a coordinated harassment campaign. They were angered by the coverage in the couple's online newsletter. They were sentenced to prison terms or home confinement. But holy smokes. All right, ding, dong, what do you got there?
You just completed all your stories.
I thought, well, something must have bad happened. That's not
you didn't
fair.
do my 2 stories, but you got yours.
Well, let's do the Buckies. We'll save the market bets for tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it all for tomorrow.
We'll do them both tomorrow then. Okay.
Yeah, do it tomorrow.
Well, that's a good idea.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. And by the way, we got a Flounder's Funny coming up in about 30 seconds. But in case you missed it, one of the updated things going on today in state legislatures in Ohio. The state legislature is voting to lower the voting age in Ohio to 16.
Oh, God.
16! I mean, what are they thinking?
Morons.
Seriously. 16! Oh, man. Anyway, hold on. No, Flounder's Funny here. One more shot before.
Wasn't the most popular kid growing up. My mom was worried about my social life.
tell you guys about the first date I ever went on. I was 14 years old. This girl, Sarah, she was a big Pauly Shore fan. So I love Pauly Shore because she's like, yeah, he's amazing. So she goes, oh, let's go see the movie Friday, the new Paul. I was like, yeah, I'm down. I wore my best Bugle Boy pants. I bought flowers. Kids that I went to school with are showing up like, hey man, what you got the flowers for? I'm like, I'm on a date with Sarah. It's like, really? You're dating her? I'm like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. Like, when'd you guys start dating? Like, we hit go on the clock as soon as she gets here. She never shows.
Uh-oh.
She never shows. And in my head, I'm like, maybe she got here really early. So I'm in the movie theater, like, well, I never saw her. I'm just sitting there with me and my flowers watching a Pauly Shore movie. It turns out those movies aren't that great. Not that great. And like I wanted to sneak out because I didn't want kids to see me, so I like left the flowers and I bailed. And then some lady grabs the flowers and follows me out in the lobby.
No.
She's like, sir, you forgot these. I'm like, no, I got them for a girl. She didn't show. She's like, you should give them to your mother. I'm like, no, my mom already thinks I'm a loser. I don't need to confirm that. It's like, so I take the flowers, I go next door to the Burger King, because that's where kids go after the movie. And I didn't want to just throw them away, because I knew kids would see them and put two and two together. So what I did is I went in the bathroom, and instead of I didn't want to lay them on top, so I started taking garbage out of the garbage can. And I laid the flowers on the bottom, like I was just burying them. Like I was burying my dignity. Just getting it down there. And the whole time in my head, I'm like thinking, this is dating? Dating sucks. Like, I could have stayed home and played video games and not felt this horrible about myself. Anyways, I get a Facebook friend request from Sarah a couple years ago. I accepted. I'm an adult. You know what she's doing? You know, some people put their jobs. She is the manager of that exact same Burger King. I was like, wow, karma does exist, and it's in a trash can in Cleveland, Ohio. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, go in the bathroom, get your flowers, lady.
I'll bet that's probably a true story, too. It sounds
Ray
like
DeVito.
a true story. I'm sorry, who is it? Wayne?
Ray DeVito.
I'll be damned. Very good. Well, boys, tomorrow, Thursday, and what the heck, another day, we'll have a goof around, see what's going on. In the meantime, Christine, sing me home, baby. I gotta go, you're killing me. Look out, Herb.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3.
Iran on notice. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump warns another big hit is coming after Tehran fired missiles toward U.S. troops in the Middle East.
President Trump says after 5 ballistic missiles were fired at U.S. troops in Jordan, it is the U.S.'s turn to hit back.
It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized. But, you know, we got to smack them a little bit.